Yes, it will, Aiden. How's everyone doing out there? Late night, Everything Now show. We're doing awesome. We got a Chris thumbs up emote from Nuclear Goo. Is that a fake mug of beer? Everything's real. I look forward to it. Should I show cam? Should I show foot cam? Hello, Mudlust. Hello, Megaspell. Look at all those emotes. The gang's all there. Alright, I'm gonna show feet. Hello. Hey everyone. How's it going? It's me, Alex from Everything Now Show. And I'm drinking a fake mug of beer. As Aiden said, all mugs of beer are fake, including this one. I got some, I actually have some lo-fi beats recommended by none other than our guest, Jake Ellenbogen. Royalty free. If any of you are streamers out there looking for some royalty free lo-fi beats, I'm just plugging this person that I've never heard the music from, but boom. Check out Harris Heller. We're gonna see how it sounds. I think I got the computer audio working, so it's an exciting time. Oh, hold on. Turn it down here. Can I hear it on my... Oh. Hold on, this will work, I swear. It might be a little loud though. Yeah, let's turn it down a bit. Ooh. This is nice. Okay, one second. All right. It was a pint glass, just a tiny taste. But that's also fake. Do we like this? How's the level of the music? Do we like that? Hi everyone. Welcome to, I guess, the inaugural episode, because we never had a name for it before, but it's the inaugural episode of Everything Then, titled by @Sadville on Twitter. I feel like we should have a credit for him under the title for how many times he has mentioned this title to me and or the rest of the cast. But Everything Then, a retrospective community feedback AMA group hug. It's good. Great. Happy to hear that you're vibing. Maybe, hopefully you've all seen the Everything Now show, but this is the show where we talk about said show, reminisce on past moments, clips, memories, and we kind of try to build to make the current show better because of things that have happened in the past. Because a lot of the times we are doing this show twice a week, or if not more, and then we don't have the time to look back at what we've done over the past 2.5 years or so, and we can't build off of what we've learned because we don't reminisce about it. So this is the time where we get to do that. Last week I brought on Sydney. We had a great conversation. If you haven't checked it out, you can check out the VOD for that. But tonight we're gonna bring on Jake from Everything Now Show. If you don't know, there are 5 cast members. Let me make sure this playlist is gonna play through. Oh, it is. Cool. Perfect. There are 5 cast members / key creatives that work on the Everything Now show, and we all have different hot takes, we all have different opinions, we all have different creative interests, so it's good to have like more one-on-one conversations where we can talk about what we've liked, what we haven't liked about the show, and how we can keep making it better. So the big things that we're going to talk about, wait, hold on. I think it would be very fun if you guys made an OnlyFans but did something unexpected with it. That's fun. I'm trying not to burp directly into the mic. more things are becoming now. Yeah, exactly. What's everyone drinking tonight? I have a whiskey sour. I have a Kona longboard right now, but it's a variety pack, so who knows what will change. I've heard about people trying to do normal streams on Chatterbait, and it's against terms. Yeah, there you go. Sadville PM's Everything Then, kind of like John Carpenter's The Thing. Yeah, this is completely presented by Sadville PM. But interesting enough, Aiden, me and Rocky are going to talk about next week, or maybe Jake and Rocky. Jake's going to co-host the show with me, so we might switch off. But eventually, we'll talk to Rocky about different avenues of being perceived on the outside through different forms of social media. So maybe OnlyFans is part of that conversation. But yeah, tonight we're going to talk about, we're going to revisit some of the panel formats, which if you guys are new, you probably don't know, but we used to do kind of a panel format where we'd have 3 characters and a normal person come on, and the 3 characters would make a presentation based on a theme. So if it was love, you'd have 3 different characters come in and present on love and whatever they thought about that, and there'd be one normal person. Aiden Wood was one of the normal people that came on one time, and they would just kind of sit and commentate on what was happening during the show. And I personally kind of want to revisit what that looks like and what we're missing from not having that consistent commentary, because I feel like on Twitch the whole shtick is that someone is in front of camera just reacting to something or talking about something, which we don't really get a lot of the times in Everything Now show, because it's just its own world happening. So yeah, and then also we're going to touch on, I'm already forgetting, I'm such a bad host. Oh yeah, Jake wanted to talk about the exposure and discoverability of the show, and we wanted to hear from you guys about how you discovered the show. You don't have to answer right now, but think on it, because we're going to talk about how people discover the show, how we can think of ways to make the show more discoverable. So yeah, it's going to be a fun time. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat. Sweet. Cool. Well, I'm going to bring in Jake. If you don't already know, Jake, Everything Now shows Jake. We all belong to the show now. He is officially, I guess, the 3rd member of the Everything Now show. The Everything Now show was started by myself and Rocky. And then Jake was one of the first people that we started collaborating with and showed like a lot of interest in making the show with us. It was we would primarily write the show before then, or like at that point. And he started helping us write the show. And then we decided he should just come on full time. Or full time. We're paying him so much money. No, but like coming on as a full member. And yeah, he's great. A big thing that I think he brings to the show is, or at least brought to the show, like when we first started, which was essential, was always like asking, why is this live? Which kind of, I think, led us out of the more scripted elements into the more interactive elements, where it's like, this show is live for a reason. You should make the show live for a reason. So it shouldn't be completely scripted. It shouldn't be completely, fully thought out before then, because then it's just a TV show. So he brought a lot of that to the show, and yeah, he's just a great guy. So I'm gonna bring him in right now, with my handy dandy. Where is he? Boom. Hey Jake.
Hi.
Whoa, you're loud. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, I can hear me on your side.
Oh, you can? Is it coming out that?
A little bit. I'm hearing the slightest echo.
Okay, hold on. Let me turn you down. I think it's just my headphones.
Almost imperceptible. Hey chat. Hi Motion Design. Hey, Aiden. What's up, gang? That was a very sweet intro. Also, thank you.
Of course. Thank you for being a great person.
Oh, hi, Goo.
Say hi to Jake. Everyone's required to say hi to Jake. Can Jake play different chiller lo-fi hip hop? Yeah, he's just gonna play the same playlist just at half speed.
Yeah,
And
let me
he's
load
also
that up real quick.
streaming. So if you could tune in at his stream at the same time and then play them both at the same time, that's how you get the full experience. It's kind of like
True.
3D where you have a right and a left side, but this is just like slightly behind and also slightly slower. So you'll get some sort of 3D experience. But let us know
Hi,
how that goes.
Sadville.
Cool. So here we are. We're on Everything Then, created by Sadville. I will.
From the
I will
twisted mind
appropriately.
of Sadville PM.
I wish I could. I was about to be like from the mind who brought you blank tweet, but I can't name any tweets off the top of his head or off the top of my head. And that's only because I've been on Twitter for 2 months. It's not because I don't love you, Sadville. But yes, we're here. We have new layouts for this stream. Look at this. Look at this, folks. Wow, this is what's gonna happen when we look
Ooh.
at the computer. And then wait, but not yet. Right now, it's just gonna be this. What idiot named him Spider-Man instead of Peter Parkour? Featured on several BuzzFeed lists. There you go.
That
Sadville
is
plugging
good.
his own tweets. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Did you see that, folks? Yeah, so check that out on unfortunately I think Sadville, the name was taken on Twitch, which is why he named himself Sadville PM. Or it was just a weird choice. But either way,
Hi, Chris.
Sadville on Twitter. Hey Chris. It's Everything Now Shows Chris.
Chris is in the other room. I wonder if you can hear me talking right now. I'm in my bedroom with the door closed, so maybe not. He's in our living
His
room.
ear is just against the door with his laptop. But yes. So Jake is of course cast member of Everything Now show. He lives in the house where it takes place. I do not live there anymore. I did live there. Or I not at Jake's house, but I did live in the place where we shot Everything Now show before. But now it lives in his house. I actually want to start with that first because you did not start with it being directly in your house and now it's in your house. How does it
True.
feel to have a whole green screen studio literally right next to your room that you do a show in and then immediately or a little later go into your bedroom and go to sleep?
Yeah. I think I don't know. I was definitely nervous on the onset because of like how nervous you you seem to be about you like really. I think you really wanted to make sure that we were like ready for it because obviously it like fully took over your guys' house, and I think there are some key differences between the studio when it was at your place versus now where it is at our place. I think the major one is that you guys only had like one common area in your house besides the kitchen. Like it was just this one living room that became the studio, and we sort of have like two adjacent rooms. So we have like a living room space, which sort of operates as like our green room when we're doing the show with like couches and a TV, and it like functions like a normal living room. And then we have the studio. So that, and we have way more like storage here. So like when we were at the old studio,
Very true.
it was just like the studio was your living room, and then our prop closet and costume rack was your kitchen. And you would just walk in, and the dining room table would just be covered in like handcuffs and baseball bats and just like all sorts of sunglasses and random shit. And then the like wire running across your kitchen with like just inches away from ripping out of the wall with the weight of like 40 costumes.
Yeah, it was
So
like a
that was not
horrible, it was
really.
like a horrible monster that just like kept slowly engulfing the house. But I think we needed to have that experience in order to know what to do with your place or the next place we went to, hypothetically, to just know that it could never get to that point again. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
definitely. We learned a lot of lessons from that, I think. And even this studio has gone through a couple of iterations of development. Like we originally did shows without the camera mounted on the wall. We've had the engineer set up in a couple of different places. So this we like didn't have the green screen floor for a while. So even this studio has like evolved slightly since we've moved in the whatever like year that it's been, a little bit more than a year, I guess, since we've been in the new place. But overall, I really like. I mean, it's way better to finish a show and then just be able to walk into my bedroom than what was before, like a 45-minute drive back and like an hour
yeah,
and a half
yeah,
commute to the
yeah.
studio in rush hour, LA rush hour traffic to get there twice a week. So to not have to do that and just be able to literally walk into my living room and turn on the computer is way better.
Yeah. Yeah, the location was terrible for the first time for literally everyone except for me and Rocky who lived there. So yeah, it's a huge upgrade. Also, I feel like the show or the studio was built for the show the second time around as opposed for the uh, the show is building the studio, which is what happened for the first house. It's just like whatever the show needed, we started just like accommodating the house around it, which just like engulfed the house. Um,
Motion design and Aiden are saying that they want to see the reverse shot of like our engineer setup, and we can definitely post. I have some pictures around here somewhere, but I can take some updated ones because the ones I took are from like a while ago. But I
yeah,
can definitely after this go in there and take some photos of our setup. It's very looks awesome. Also, is the one who like basically built the entire engineer setup, and it has come a long, long way since the early days of the show.
yeah. There used to be because originally it was Rocky was a character who engineered on set, so the whole engineering setup was on set, and then eventually we moved away once we got to I think it stayed there for a while, but once we got to like the panel shows, then it moved to where the engineer was separate from the show and kind of like there was a desk lining where you could just see over the desk into the actual stage that we were shooting in, which was just our living room at that house. And then once we had that whole setup, then we moved to the other studio, which we kind of did like a corner thing for a second, where it was like a corner desk, but then now it just all faces the wall opposite where we're shooting. And the engineer has two monitors just for the computer to like kind of work vmix and work like anything else on the two things. We have a monitor to the right. I wish we really could show a picture. I feel like we have a recent one, but we'd have to
I
do it
could
through
literally
Discord.
just walk in there and take a photo right now and then send it to
Yeah,
you on Slack.
I'll keep doing this in depth as Jake goes and takes a picture of it. Um, but then we have a monitor to the right of the two monitors, which is our full screen output, which we can look at ourselves. I'm literally going to explain this all again. I'll just wait for Jake to come back and do it. Let me look at the chat real quick. Sucks that you have to rent it, even though you literally created it yourself. When digging in the rain, agreed motion design. We really, Alex, I like the painting in the background. Thank you. There's a much better painting. I wish I could show you. There's a painting right over here of this beautiful unicorn in my kitchen. That's just slightly out of shot, but only if you could see it.
Okay, I'm gonna send this to you. What should I do? Send it on Slack.
Yeah, you can just send it to me to Slack. I'll drop it in vmix.
Okay.
Don't worry, guys. You will get the shot.
You're
You'll
gonna
get
get
the
the
shot of
shot. It's
Spider-Man.
a pretty bad shot. I turned on one of our studio lights, so it's kind of glary, but you'll get the idea.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, this will at least be good enough to explain what's happening here. I think.
Oh yeah, I guess I could have also just posted in Discord where all of you guys already are, but whatever.
That's okay. All right, hold on. Hold on, folks. I'm going to go to our beautiful other view. Wow, look at that. And then I'm going to add in,
Clean, crispy.
so crispy. And then I'm going to add in this. There we go. Perfect.
Boom.
Let me resize this. This is what it looks like. So yeah, as I was saying that, so this is completely, so you guys always see the other side of this. So imagine looking completely, turn your back to the stage. This is what you're looking at. The engineer is sitting in the chair, looking at these two monitors that are directly above the chair, and that's kind of like the two computer monitors that you're looking at that you can operate from. The one directly to the right, which is like kind of a bigger TV, is where we see the full screen output of the show. So it's really great when you're doing this type of show to just see where you are if you're a character in a scene. Like if you're Jill Brado standing on the street, you want to like kind of feel like you're standing on the street. So this is like a great thing to look at where you actually feel like you're on the street or wherever you are. Directly above the monitor, you can see that little black kind of weird thing sticking out next to the sound panels. That's the camera. So that's where the camera's mounted directly to the wall. And then, yeah, that's just like it's like a GH5 DSLR hooked to the wall. And then to the left of that is a huge, bigger TV, which is where we put the chat. So you guys are on the chat. I feel like it's probably more intuitive to put the chat sideways, but we have it there because we don't know how to really do the sideways thing. And then, yeah, everything else around it is kind of sound panels. The whole thing, we have a lot of sound panels that are around it. There's a big carpet on the ground in front of the green screen pad that kind of helps with sound too because it's all tile. But yeah, there's a wire running in between the camera and the TV with the chat that runs to our two boom mics, which are mounted to the ceiling. But yeah. Well, okay, how do you feel the tech would be facing the performance? Yeah, that's what we originally wanted, but we're kind of tight for space. So, but we've never really had a problem with like the engineer not being able to know what's going on because you have like so many direct feeds immediately in front of your face that you don't really need to see the people directly. I love how it looks like you started soundproofing the walls. Yeah, exactly. We have so much foam too. There's so much foam in your closet, Jake, that's like just waiting to be hung up, but we still like just haven't soundproofed the whole thing. But it sounds fine. Like we don't really.
It sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
It definitely, the carpet has made a huge difference. That was a game changer for sure, having the carpet over that tile, because the room is just like a big hard box. And then one side is like all green screen, so that's pretty much covered up. But the carpet covered a lot of that hard tile floor space that kept the echoing to a minimum.
I love how chat is the biggest because we are the most important. Truly, you guys are. We were deciding between the monitor of like, oh, do we want to see ourselves as the biggest, or do we want to see the chat as the biggest? And it's like, no, we'd rather be able to like. The most eye-grabbing thing is like whatever's going on in the chat so that we can pull from that as we're going because it is essential. And also looking at us in a giant screen can be distracting. I think a big thing that Sydney says a lot is like oh, it's still playing. That Sydney says a lot is that she gets caught up in watching herself on the screen, which I do too, and it can kind of like it can ground you in it, but also pull you out of it because you can start laughing at whatever is happening, just like looking at what's going on in the scene.
The clock, just Tiny Taste says that clock is the most professional thing there. Nobody can pretend they don't know. And yeah, that was actually a game changer too. We did a lot of shows without the clock, and that's still kind of hard to keep an eye on that, but a lot of the times it's easy to, like, when you're in a character, lose track of time. And especially when we have guests on, we definitely try to like keep even amounts of screen time for everybody. So having a big red clock there so that you don't have to be checking your phone or your watch or like trying to like squint and see, the clock on the computer or whatever. Having like a big red clock there definitely helps kind of keep the pacing of the show. But even then, there's a lot of times where like you'll see the engineer kind of silently doing like a wrap it up kind of thing to just like get people to
Yeah.
move it on.
Especially with guests too, that's where it comes in like a lot of handy where it's just like everyone kind of becomes aware of what time it is or like when the guest needs to come on. Except for the person in the scene because they just kind of get lost in it, and then everybody's just got to be like, all right, we were talking about having a walkie-talkie system that just like
Yeah.
that like it could communicate or something like that. I mean, we have the wireless in-ear things, but I think at that point it just becomes hard to perform, having already so many things you have to pay attention to with the tech. I feel like it get distracting that way. Significant help to keep you on track and maintain the pace. I have to turn off my camera off during Zoom meetings for a similar reason. Yeah. We're all just extremely sexy, so it's really hard when you just are looking at such good looking people while you perform. I'm having such a hard time figuring out the volume this needs to be at. Minister shocked every minute performer goes over. That's good. But then you're administering a shock to yourself. I think that's the problem, is that we all have the same role as this amoebus performer, engineer person. So whatever punishment we give, we also have to receive.
True.
Thank you for the photo.
Yeah, I could take motion design. I can take more photos too. I've been meaning to throw those up on the Discord. I want to take, we've got like a really big costume rack, and I actually just cleaned our prop closet also. If I just went through and like organized the prop closet,
Oh,
it
hell
still
yeah.
could probably use a little bit of work. It was a complete shit show in there for the past like month and a half. But I want to take pics of everything so you can see sort of the rest of our costuming and prop and all the stuff that you guys have paid for, really, for the most part. I mean, we had a couple of things at the very beginning when we started, but our tech and prop and costume department has grown tremendously over the last couple of years with your gracious donation. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like the most visually shocking element of it all is the wig door slash wall, where it's just like
Yeah.
converted a shoe rack into this like wig mounting system, where all the wigs are hanging on the little prongs of this thing that hangs over the door, and it just looks like this big hairy wall. But yeah, if you're not already in the Discord, hop in the Discord. We'll post some pictures in there too of behind the scenes. Is Chris allowed to touch that setup? Oh, he sure is. But only when he's chained. I don't know how to keep up with this bit of Chris like either being a prisoner of the show or just not allowed to touch anything. Maybe they could get on Chatterbait. There he is. If I try, Alex sprays me. Yeah, that's the bit. I spray Chris if he gets close to the electronics. Oh, cool. Well, you can hop into the first thing, I guess.
Let's do it.
So, raise your hand in chat or shout out if you have been with us when we were doing the panel shows, aka the presentation shows. If you don't know what that is and you think you've seen it, it is back before we used to do the what we call character cavalcades, which are your big event, your Barley's Bar, your lifts, where there's one host character that stays kind of in the scene the entire time, and then you have different characters that come in and out of the scene. Before we discovered that, we used to do a format where we would have 3 characters that would make presentations on a topic. the topic was like usually one word: machines, clubs, food, and that was basically the prompt for us as cast members. And we would make a PowerPoint presentation. While someone was presenting, there'd be a panel of the other characters that weren't presenting, along with a real person. I say in quotes, but they actually were a real person, who was the guest, who would just kind of react to what was happening and commentate. It was a good way to bring on guests and not have them do a character if they didn't want to. They could just come on as themselves and kind of just react to the ridiculousness that was the show. And yeah, it was just also a good way. This is back also in the old studio where we had kind of two sets, where you could have the presenter set and then you could have like this side set where it was just a table set up with 3 mics basically. But yeah, if you're familiar with that, let us know, and then we can maybe shout out your favorite panel episode, because we're going to go through some clips too, just to like revisit and see what that felt like. Oh, that's Chris's GX
Yeah, can you
tag.
guys hear that? It's
Oh yeah,
looking
the
like not a
Dodgers
lot of
won.
people
Props
have
to the
seen those.
Dodgers.
Motion design is saying that they have watched some of the old VODs of those episodes, so maybe they remember some of that stuff. And I know Aiden. I don't know if Aiden is still in the chat, but they were on a panel episode, so they have definitely seen them.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of these other names that I see in the chat probably joined in after we started doing the character cavalcade stuff. There was a brief, I think, overlap too, where we did, like, I think the very first cavalcade was a lift stream, and I think we still did a couple panel episodes after that. Maybe. I don't actually remember the timeline.
Yeah, I feel like we kept doing them while we figured that out. And it wasn't until we came up with like more forms that we're just like, oh, we'll stick with this. It's so hard to track like the evolution of the show and like where at what point we did what. But yeah, we can go back through. We can also watch some of Aiden's eps, because that was food, I believe, which was a great episode. I was reading an article. Sorry, what was the question?
We were just trying to figure out who among us has seen any of the panel format episodes, and we said you definitely have because you were on one.
Yeah, so you're guilty.
Guilty as charged. Yeah, let's check out one of the let's check out the ep that Aiden was on. I'm trying to remember. Was food? Oh, food was when I was Roger Gherkin.
Yes. Yeah, that was an iconic episode. Honestly, that was such a good episode.
Yeah, that was a great one. This format was just really, really birthed a lot. Because the one really great thing about, or not the one, but one really great thing about this format was, unlike the character cavalcades, where characters are really only on screen usually for, other than the host character, like the characters that rotate are typically only on the screen for like maybe 5 or 10 minutes tops. But with the cavalcade, or with the panel format, you just have 3 characters who are there for the whole time. And so you really get to know those 3 characters. Like, they do a full presentation, they do a Q&A, and then they're on the panel while the other characters are presenting. So like, those characters are a lot more robust than some of the characters that kind of get thrown into the cavalcades.
Yeah, you just have to live in that character the entire time, which just requires a lot more commitment to it, instead of just like hopping in knowing that character is either gonna like hop out real quick or die or whatever. But yeah, Aiden says, yeah, the food episode was back when Julie was main cast member. Yeah, so if you're familiar with Julie, she was a main cast member of Everything Now show, and she helped birth this kind of like transformation into this form, which I think, like, you know, it led the show to where it is now. But she helped figure out this panel format. So that's when Julie was a main cast member. So you'll see Julie a lot too when we're going through these clips, which is just a great part of Everything Now show too to look back at. Let me pull up.
It says the monster episode is really good. Yeah, we should check out some clips from that episode too. That was when Oleg was created.
Also, I'm just gonna plug our YouTube channel. We almost have as many subscribers as we have videos on the channel. So if you're not already subscribed, go check it out. We do a video for every subscriber that we get, and more. Don't necessarily need a doodly-doo transition for past clips, but also couldn't hurt. Need a doodly-doo. Oh, you mean like an explanation? Yeah, this is kind of just explaining the context for this point of the show. We don't need a full thing for every clip. Can do an LA episode. Yes, definitely. We do a video for every subscriber we get. Cool. So yeah, we're gonna hop in. I was showing this to Sydney last time, but just the wall of videos that we have is really overwhelming for me to look at.
Some really high quality thumbnails in the mix there.
Yeah, really. This is the You Matter bumper. I was gonna say that just that thumbnail alone, I know exactly what episode that's from. The Two Mooses episode. But just look, so many videos. Oh my god. But as you can see, like when we get to this point, there just starts to be like Fitness 101, Space 101. That's basically the panel format that we came up with. Here we go. All right. Wow, there's so many videos within Food 101. Where's the full episode? I can't even navigate our own YouTube channel.
There's like a full episode playlist too, where it might be easier to sort through that.
Please use this as a guide to navigate our own YouTube channel. Promos, highlights, marathon, full episodes.
Just a Tiny Taste says, no, by doodly-doo, I mean the wavy video toaster effect. Oh, yeah, like the bloop, 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 like the visual and audio cue that we are flashing back.
Oh, yes. Bloop, 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 bloop. Do. Also, it's crazy
so many
how,
full episodes.
Like, I think up to when we started doing the panel episode, we had 20 to 25 episodes of Everything Now show, which was almost an entire year. And then once we started doing the panel episodes, so the Character Cavalcade episodes, it had just like exponentially grew because we started doing twice a week and all this stuff. So it's like the amount of content just like went out of control. Single rider. Yeah, because the first single rider was only episode 52. That's crazy.
There it is.
Number 30. All right. I'm going to pause our beautiful... Whoa. Look at that. Great. Can we hear that? Hold on.
I cannot hear it.
Oh, have we not been hearing the lo-fi beats? Did I not put this on?
Oh yeah, I guess I was hearing it like at the beginning when you like first turned it on, but then I stopped hearing it, I guess, and just didn't notice.
Hold on. We're gonna figure this out.
Betsy Betts coming in with the
Betsy
16 months. Oh my god, 16 months. That is an old head. This is somebody who's definitely seen some of the
Betsy
panel
Betts
shows.
Has been here. So let me get the audio on that stream elements alerts. There we go. All right. Why can I not hear it anymore?
A classic mainstay of the Everything Now show is fixing tech issues live on stream.
Audio issues.
Yeah, audio specifically.
Didn't expect so many friends, but
oh, there we go.
I'm so glad you're here.
We should also explain who this is, probably.
Yes, that was some explanation.
Oh,
How's the levels for this? Is this too loud?
It seems
Well, hello
pretty
there.
fine.
Well,
All right. So moving away from the traditional host, I guess, of Radical, which we won't get into this episode, but that was the
Yo.
host before this.
Yeah, you can come say hello. Chris is gonna come say hi.
Is this Everything Now Shows Chris?
It's everything now shows Chris.
Hi.
Come say hi, Chris.
There was a scene happening just now where a lady stabbed herself in the neck and I didn't like it, so I left.
Yeah, let me.
Oh no.
I'll unplug so you can hear also. Say hi also.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Alex.
How's it going?
Good, what's up?
We're about to watch some clips from the food episode.
Let's do it.
Okay. I'm gonna plug this back in though so that it doesn't echo. But I'll tell you what else.
Yeah, I can remember being there.
Okay.
So yeah, we had an old host for the old show, and then we were like, how do we have a host but that can also engineer at the same time? So we came up with Dr. Teacher, who was a brain in the jar, who kind of was the person who brought in all of these like beautiful minds to come present for the Everything Now show. And it was made through Adobe Character Animator. Julie did all the assets and the drawing and the illustrating for it. And this way, whoever was engineering could voice Dr. Teacher through a microphone and still engineer the show.
This was when also we were doing like a whole school theme. Like that was sort of like the theme. And that's why it's not like that anymore in our Discord actually, but it used to be like all of our Discord channels were like school themed channels. And like the whole premise of the show was sort of that this was like an educational, almost like kids show where we would pick a topic and like educate the public on that specific, whatever that one word suggestion was. And so Dr. Teacher represented sort of this like professorial educational guide through that process.
Yeah, it's also still the subscriber emote until you get to 1 year. So the little brain you see on the side for anyone that doesn't know is because of this guy, which probably makes a lot more sense now. But yeah, also shout out, we got 1 like on this video. Oh, it was me.
Oh, nice.
Wait, no. Now we got 2. This is from my personal account. Great. So now that you know, this is also this background thing is just a piece of cardboard with green fabric over it that we had. That we were just like, where are we gonna put him on the stage? And he's right here. Also, I'm trying to. Was this when we still had? I'm trying to remember if this is when we were actually filming the living room or when we put up the green screen. I guess we'll find out in a second.
so nice seeing you here.
I think it must have been the regular
I
green
didn't expect
or
so
it
much
must have been
friends,
without
but
the green screen.
I'm so glad you're here. We're going to learn a lot.
I don't know how we would have split it.
Yeah, true.
And today, we're going to learn about none other than food. I'm of course, your host, Dr. Teacher. And I will be leading you on this knowledge quest to find out more about
Where's what at? We got What a Disaster in the chat for this episode right here.
what goes inside of us and how we gain nutrition and all that fun stuff. We got a great bunch of guests tonight, guest panelists that will present their knowledge on food, and I hope you guys will have a full skull by the end of this episode. And this, of course, is Everything Now. So I guess we can get right into it. Let's go over to our panel here. And before I get started, I have to warn you, we have a very high-profile guest, someone that does not want their identity revealed until the appropriate time. So I am going to take measures and make sure that we do not see his or her identity. So I'm just going to put over this little... Perfect. All right.
Forgot about this bit.
And here we go. Oh, and thank you, Node
Wow.
Happy.
Follow from Node Happy.
Thank you for following. We really appreciate all of our followers and all of our subscribers. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. All right. And here we go.
Okay.
Oh, okay, great. So,
Is this Roger? We couldn't like show Roger until we got you. Or we didn't want the
Well,
reveal.
I think it's because of the I think also because of the green screen thing. Whereas like
All
this
right.
shot didn't have the green screen effect.
All right,
So
we won't say anything else. We won't say anything else before we see Roger. But
Okay.
but this was a
Right.
measure to and look we have Aiden Wood on the right. Let me get a shout out. Aiden Wood. Did it
Chris
work?
is
There we
going to go get his computer so he can just sit quietly on my
Oh,
bed
perfect.
next to me and listen.
You can
and
shout out
be able to
commentary
look good.
too.
Yeah,
If you're
but
not,
he's going to be slightly delayed probably.
if you're following us and you're watching this show, you might as well, like, I don't know why you aren't already following Aiden Wood. Go watch Aiden. They do educational streams, crossword streams, everything in between. So go follow them. Huge supporter of us, like right when we got started, and we would not be able to understand Twitch near to where we do now if it wasn't for them. So go follow. But Aiden is acting as the regular person or like guest person that we'd bring on and be like, hey, you don't have to be a character, just be yourself, react to what's going on. And yeah. Also, is this Aristotle's? No,
I was just wondering.
This is Ptolemy. Aristotle's brother.
Aristotle's brother. That's crazy.
Aristotle is the driver of the lift stream. This is his twin brother, Ptolemy. And we'll just continue.
Starting from your left, we have, of course, our redacted guest who has requested to remain anonymous until the appropriate time. So, yeah, I mean, maybe we can...
Sorry. I think I'm fucking... Oh, no, we're good now.
Just get a little hi or hello from our redacted guest.
Hello.
Great. And next, in the middle here, we have none other than Tyler M., realist.
Yes, hello. Greetings to everyone.
Welcome, Tyler. And right next to Tyler, we have Ptolemy C. Ozarski, a
That's
catering
right.
captain.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, and
Enormous.
thank you, Mrs.
notification
Manface, for that.
that screen.
Oh, yeah, the giant bit. Thing. Also, Mrs. Manface, K-Weeb, a.k.a. K-Weeb. If K-Weeb's in the chat, also someone that has been around for this long, which is, they've been for a while, so.
That cheer.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
And we have a very, very special guest joining us, a guest panelist, none other than Aiden, for a fellow streamer from channel Aiden Wood. Welcome, Aiden.
Hi.
We're excited for you to be here, and we're excited for you to learn with us.
I'm excited to learn too.
Great. And oh, I think I hear something. Oh, wait, maybe I hear. What could that be? Oh. Wee-oo, 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 wee-oo. Oh, I think I know what that is. That must be our song of the day. So let's bring that up. And it's totally ready to go in this folder in my brain. So let me just pull it out here. And wow.
It was so incredibly hard to voice Dr. Teacher while you are engineering. It goes to show how hard it is for whoever plays Jonks to voice Jonks while they're doing it. I don't know who voices Jonks, but whoever does it, it just goes to show how hard it is to do while you are engineering, and why there may be a lot of pauses when Jonks is talking.
Yeah, whoever that is. It's also like this is also when we were still figuring out how vMix works, and so like we were basically like learning how to use this streaming software while trying to do voiceover for this character.
Yeah. Chris says, pretty sure I do Jonks. Oh, it might be Chris.
Oh, it could be Chris.
Wow, here it is. All right. And we'll turn down our theme music. Is it playing? God only knows. And here we go. Boom. And
Pretty avant-garde.
Yeah. Well, it looks like our jingle isn't quite working right now. Oh, hold on. And it officially is not working. So I will sing you a jingle.
Now I've got
Hold
it.
on.
F
And
is for
Is it officially
food.
not-
That's what we're learning. O is for oh my god, another meal. The second O is for ostrich meat, which is an unordinary food. And D is for don't take my dinner, Roger. And that's my song. And everybody shut up. Thank you.
That was incredible, Dr. Teacher.
oh
Thanks.
my god.
And here it is,
The
the set reveal.
Beautiful set.
What a beautiful set. Yeah, this was the original Everything Now set. It was not a green screen. This is what our living room looked like. And so we have Dr. Teacher on this piece of green screen up here. We also have a green screen like framed thing up here, which is where we put the decal. You can get a glimpse of maybe what one of the characters, a teaser of what one of the characters is by this piece of green screen fabric that's hanging off. Motion design says, and all those tech issues have been resolved. Exactly, yeah. Everything's good
Totally.
now. Yeah, the chair and sofa. It was a vibe.
Um,
Also, you can spot our friend Teddy untattooed there in the back.
yeah, I hope you enjoyed that song. And without further ado, we're going to bring up our first guest, which will need a little bit of an introduction. So please give it up for our first guest.
Oh, I forgot I made an intro video for this.
Also, before we get into it, I know I said every,
This is back, guys.
On the bed,
Chris is back.
just went out.
Each cast member's contribution basically to the main show was creating a whole presentation. So that included videos, all this stuff. So this is Jake's character, but we basically create a whole presentation around that, which kind of led to more of each person being able to contribute wholly to the show, as opposed to when we did in the past where we were kind of writing for this show that not everybody got to participate in. But yeah.
In 1998, the British Secret Intelligence Service began a highly classified research program known only to a select group of elite scientists and espionage experts. Developed in near-complete isolation, the program aimed to create the world's most advanced camouflage and cloaking technology. Researchers pushed the human body to its limits, achieving feats of biological engineering previously thought to be impossible. They were able to transform
thank
the
you, okay,
appearance
where
of
the
these
hell are you
brave
now?
men and women into something completely unrecognizable from the human form. They created a spy that was truly able to hide in plain sight. The world of espionage had been forever changed, but at what cost?
Hello. My name is Roger Gherkin. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Right, so you might be
what a
wondering,
reveal.
what's all this about then?
Honestly, this is why I'm pissed we don't go back and watch these episodes more. That's probably top 5 Everything Now show reveals right there.
Yes, that's my Discord photo too. For those of you who don't recognize, in Discord, that is the profile picture. It's I think from almost this exact screen grab right here.
Oh my god. Yeah, and for Roger we'll keep going and then we'll talk about Roger after.
Right, there's a pickle on my screen, right? Well, I'm more than just a pickle. I'm actually a spy, right? I've spent multiple years. Here's my profile, right? As you can see, I'm a secret agent. I've worked with the Secret Intelligence Service in the Research and Development Department. Top clearance. My name is Roger Leslie Gherkin. My code name, if you go to the next slide, is the gherkin. Yes, it is the same as my last name. That's because I'm a pickle. My last name is actually just a coincidence. I happen to have the last name Gherkin, although I've been other foods. If we go to the next slide, you'll see I've been active for 5 years in the service, acting as a spy, a counterintelligence service member, and many other areas within the counterintelligence and intelligence community. My blood type is vinegar, 100% vinegar, yes. And, of course, my marital status is single. So that's a bit about me, right? I'm a spy. I'm going to tell you about a bit of my time in the program, right? Because you're wondering, how's this pickle a spy, right? What's going on here? Well, I'll clarify that for you. If we go to the next slide.
Did he spell
Right, so I was part of a
vinegar?
program that took human beings, right? I used to be a human and transports them, their biology, right? Like you saw in the video, their biology was shifted and changed into different food items, right? So if you go to the next slide, you can see the program turned people into corn, right? That was an option. Next slide. Hot dogs, right? We all know hot dogs, right? So part of the program, sushi was another one. I knew a guy who was turned into a piece of sushi, right? Next one. And of course, pickle, right? So that's me. So you're wondering, what is the British intelligence community doing turning people into foods, right? How could that be helpful? Well, this was part of a program used to spy on foreign diplomats, right? Huge, impressive people who are difficult to get in front of, right? And so we use this technology, right, to get in to the banquet halls, to the conferences, to the royal dinners and things like that. If you go to the next slide, you'll take a look at what I'm talking about here. Of course, we know who this is, right? On the right there, that's German Chancellor Angela Merkel, right? We all recognize her. But do you recognize in this photo the undercover spy who's sitting in the room right in front of you? I bet you didn't, but if we go to our next slide, there.
Oh my God.
Right there, yep. That bowl of bread is actually a British spy, a British intelligence agent, disguised as a piece of bread. So what this program did is it shrunk humans into the size of food, unrecognizable from a piece of food. You stick a piece of bread in the bowl, suddenly they're listening to all of the intelligence of that specific meeting. Right, next slide. Here's a photo. Oh, this was quite a disaster, actually. We sent an operative to North Korea, right? If you see here, that's Kim Jong-un inspecting a series of corn, right? If you go to the next photo right here, you'll see there's our agent right there in his hand.
In his hand.
That's right. Yep, that was one of our agents. Went undercover in North Korea, disguised as a piece of corn, right? They discovered quickly that one of the corns in their batch was an undercover agent. And so they rounded up all the corns. You can see them all there, rounded up in front of them, and started interrogating each corn one by one, saying, do you work for the British government? Do you work for the British government? Luckily, our man was able to get out of there safely, just in the nick of time. But that was a close call. We're seeing right there. That's him right there. We can go on to the next slide. Okay, we all know this man, right? Vladimir Putin. Perhaps one of the greatest oligarchs, one of the most powerful men in global geopolitical spheres, right? But do you see in this photo the British spy? Does anyone spot the British spy? You see, there's only one man, but if we go to the next slide,
It's a glass.
boom, there he is. That's right. That's our man right there. The veg on the fruit platter. Now, no one expects the veg on the fruit platter because you say, well, no one's eating the veg, right? They want the fruits. They want the watermelon and the regular melon and the grapes, but no one's eating the veg. No one is expecting the veg on the plate, and that's where our boys are right there. So now that you have sort of an idea, this is what can go wrong, right? So here's a picture of what happens after your body is going through these transformations over and over again. We're running, sometimes 5, 6, 7 missions.
I wish I was waiting for the cut back to the panel again. I wish I was cutting back more to the panel to prove this point, but we can see what the chat's saying too. Just Tay says, of course, well, this is just a talent show with higher stakes. And yeah, I agree. But also I think the big thing that this format benefits from is the panel of the other presenters just constantly having to watch and react what is happening. You could hear it a little bit. And there are other episodes where it happens a lot more, but just Julie saying oh, it's right in his hand, or Rocky being is it the glass? Is just kind of that little bit of kind of reacting or the innocent bystander type point of view that I feel adds a lot to the scene. Now how much normal corn has your suspicion? Yeah. But it's also for Roger, like, this wasn't the original plan. We're just like, oh, Jake got this great pickle costume. We're going to bring it in, and he's going to be a pickle. But we didn't realize the pickle costume was going to be green screened. So he put this entire pickle pattern over the whole behind layer so that wherever he walks, it will just be pickle no matter where he touches, which explains why there was like a little piece of it hanging off on the picture frame.
And I also had to face paint my face green. So
you also look totally naked.
yeah, I also am basically wearing nothing underneath it. There's a great shot when I'm on the panel after we get rid of the redacted where you see what I look like actually without the green screen, and I look like an insane person.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't green screen the other camera, but so did you preempt? Yeah, this was before Pickle Rick.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, this was Pickle Roger. Couldn't you have just changed the range at which the green screen keys? I'm not really sure what that means.
Okay.
What
It's been great for me.
Say bye to Chris, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
But yeah, we'll skip ahead.
Missions in a single week, right? Transform.
Yeah, I think he ends up selling a book.
Yeah, I saw a book.
$20 each.
Pretty expensive.
But you're getting one
Out of the
two for
jar.
price.
Wait,
of
we got wavy
$40. That's a good
lines.
deal. But
We got wavy with the PogChamp in the chat for Roger.
$20 per book.
you might be saying to yourself, well, what's going on here? I thought this was an educational program, and it seems like this man is just coming on here to sell his book, right? Well, there's where you're wrong,
Yeah.
right? Because I am trying to sell my book, and it's a great book, and I implore you to go to your nearest audio book or freestanding bookseller and pick up a copy. But if you don't do that, I want you to go home feeling like you were informed. So if we go to our next slide, there it is, a free demonstration, right? So I am going to take you through a free demonstration of some of the tactics and tacticians that I
really
use,
don't
the strategies
remember.
that I do in a scary room. Maybe there's a chair, maybe there's a desk, maybe a shackled to the scenario. It could be any type of food. Doesn't matter. I will decide. And then once that happens, I'm going to guess which type of food that you've decided, and I'm also going to know which type of crime that I've committed. Does that sound good? Does that sound good to you on the chat?
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely.
Completely skipped
Wonderful.
the
Excellent.
explanation.
Okay. So I'm going to step out now. I'm going to step outside. When you guys have decided the type of food and the type of crime, just give a rap on the door. I'll come back in and we'll start this interrogation, right?
All right.
Very good.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
See you later.
All right, guys. So you heard him. Oh, and there he goes. So pick a food that our friend has been turned into, and also crime.
What do we think? There's all kinds
And
of
at this
food,
point, I'm
like
just
Sour Patch Kid
standing
I'm seeing
on
in the chat is
your
good.
guys' front porch outside at night,
Yeah, I mean, that
dressed
sounds
as a
pretty
pickle.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, we should run with
good.
that.
I'm gonna
maybe.
just run with that. I mean,
Cars
of
are just
course.
like driving past.
What kind of crime did you commit?
Espionage?
I guess espionage.
Espionage, maybe a specific kind. Oh,
Yeah.
there's
Corporate.
vehicular horse slaughter.
Registered.
Arrested for trying to arrest someone, so
Okay,
sort
like
of
a false
arrest
citizens-
inception.
Yeah,
Sticking with the sour.
sticking with Sour Patch
So this
Kid.
is also sort of like part
Yeah,
of this
Sour Patch Kid
format
just
was
has
typically
such
it
a-
would be
it's a
like,
specific.
I mean, not always, but typically there would be a PowerPoint presentation and then either a Q&A or like some sort of interactive game at the end of the character's presentation because we wanted to make it interactive in some way. So the first part would just be a straight up PowerPoint, not really answering chat questions or anything, just kind of like going through the slides. And then like for this example, like Roger Kirkin has like this game where we take a suggestion, I guess, for a food that he is assigned and he has to guess what food he is and what crime he committed in sort of like a classic short form improv game, like a twist on a interrogation short form improv game that we used to play in college.
Set of characteristics.
And we also have petty vandalism from McRidgley. I don't know if that was mentioned.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's a good one. What do we
Also,
think?
the side
What do we
stage
think
is
a good
way-
one to give clues for.
Low for most of these episodes.
Let's see. We got
I like patricide.
patricide killing the father.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that. It feels like a Sour Patch Kid
Yes,
would have some sort of
it's gotta go
There's a
vendetta
back
paternal
on
against
issue. Yeah.
authority figure.
Oh,
so
here
yeah,
comes
do we
the
like
theme
that?
music. I
Chad, are
guess.
we good with a
forget.
Sour Patch Kid who killed his father?
Great suggestions all around, everyone.
Yeah, excellent work. We built. Oh yeah. First, you're so sweet.
Yeah, you're smiling at us.
It appears I'm a young person.
Of course, yes,
Don't you know what you are?
Of course I do, and I am a small piece of candy.
That's right, but
A sweet piece of candy. Perhaps a type of candy that is sweet and then sour, or sour and then sweet.
that's
Guy's a
you're
pro.
describing yourself so far, you traitor to some nation.
Sick
Of
fuck.
course, and that is why I'm here, right? Because I was a traitor.
Music
Oh,
is
well.
so loud.
No.
You're a traitor to your own, I would say, more than anything else.
Yeah.
Just sitting down
I
is
mean,
so distracting.
Right, okay.
It's just disgusting what you've done.
Yeah, my limbs
You know,
poking out of
ties
that
the
suit
bind.
just are
You're
so
kind of
scary.
so colorful. And yet
Of course,
you're so
yes, and I've
betrayous.
got many colors.
Yeah, so that we can't hear it because of the song. Motion design say, okay, what is the origin of that song? And the original format of the Everything Now show featured me as a host named Radical, Rocky as Radical's stepbrother, who also engineered the show, and then a band leader named Spanx.YeahBaby, who was half man, half website,
Website.
who would play all the band or all the music on a Casio keyboard that had like the drums and like different sounds built in. And Spanx, who was our roommate at the time, made that song on the Casio like before the first episode and played that for the first episode, and then he re-recorded it into like an actual MP3 so that we could reuse it. But that just became the Everything Now show theme song. You went the Lucas route. I'm not sure what that means, just a tiny taste.
I think he's talking about how we started using full CGI for everything instead of having practical sets.
Oh yeah, it's hard when you don't have this weird ass wooden house to shoot in all the time that it makes a good set for this,
True.
but not for anything else because there's no insulation and it's impossible to live in. But yeah.
And one of them is red or green or blue.
That's many colors.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
You listed
Yes.
many colors.
Basically
Now
you
I-
said
a rainbow.
now
one
I have
color
a
and then you
betrayal.
said 4 colors.
Of course. And therefore I am a sour worm.
Ooh, you're sour.
And
Of course I am.
I call you a worm, but not literally.
When I look
Right.
at you, I see a worm. After I heard what you've done, I thought, even
This
though
guy's-
he looks so sweet and cute with his little face and his little arms.
Yes. Oh, of course. And I have
You look so uncomfortable.
tiny little arms because I am a Sour Patch Kid.
You
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
bastard.
Yes, I've
You
discovered.
bastard.
I mean, I have known all along that I was a Sour Patch Kid, but that's not the only reason that I am here. I'm a Sour Patch Kid who has betrayed someone in some way.
Oh, you've betrayed the most important person.
I didn't think a
Or
kid was
people
capable
in
of
your
this.
life.
Yeah.
It's
I've
to come
betrayed
into this
my
world.
own friends who are also Sour Patch Kids.
the closest friends you could have. Ties that run deeper than even the other children.
They taught you how to
around.
play catch, man. They taught you how
Of
to
course,
play catch.
and I've betrayed my baseball teammates, and that is why I'm locked away and being interrogated.
Not
because
just your
I-
baseball teammates, perhaps the coach who signed up only when he heard you were interested.
My God, I've betrayed
It's this.
my t-ball coach, and I am a Sour Patch Kid who has betrayed his own t-ball coach.
Yes, but your t-ball coach happens
Hey,
to be
Kevin.
the person whose van you arrived to practice in.
Aha!
Who put your favorite goldfish crackers in the center divider and is ready to pull them out whenever.
and cut off the crust
My-
on your sandwiches like you liked.
God, my t-ball coach is also the bus driver.
God damn it! What kind of bus drivers have you had,
That is
kid?
that is
This
sick.
guy wrote a book on the
I'm a
subject.
Sour Patch Kid who has betrayed my own baseball
can't
bus
believe-
driver coach.
I can't believe you won't even name him as what he is.
Him, yes, of course, it is
Him
a
and
man.
her. Him and
Right.
her. The ties that bind you are deeper
Right.
than almost any bond.
Blood.
Blood,
thicker
yes, and of
water.
course, and that is why I've accidentally, or perhaps purposely, betrayed my own parents.
Yes.
And I'm a Sour Patch Kid.
What did you do to them?
I betrayed them at the baseball
You
game.
betrayed them in a final way.
Right, and
The most
at the
final
end of the
way.
baseball game, I betrayed them.
That is
in the
when it
final,
happened, yes,
In the
but-
ninth, at the bottom of the ninth inning, I betrayed
You're
my
not wrong.
parents, and I am a Sour Patch Kid.
You betrayed them in such a brutal way,
Right.
too.
I killed them.
Yes.
Yes.
I
you
killed
did.
my yes.
What the fuck?
Yes, exactly. I killed my parents, and I am a Sour Patch Kid, and they are my coach at a baseball game.
That
Hey,
we
Sydney.
came on organically.
That was kind of
Right.
part of it.
That
That's-
was not part of it.
And that is how you do it, folks. And so, using that information, now that I realize that I am a Sour Patch Kid who has betrayed my parents, maybe at a baseball game, or maybe it was at another place, I'll be able to
Perhaps.
use that information and escape. Right. So, so that's. Thank you. Yes. Whoever wrong
What
key.
an insanely
yes, wrong key for a second cue.
contrived
That, is, that
concept.
entire section.
So good. So good.
Oh man, this
I
format
love-
was great.
I love Travis Ike. But eventually Roger got it. Sadville says, do a lot of houses in LA look like log cabins inside? And almost all of them do, aside from
Yeah.
the current one that we run the studio out of. And yeah, so that was Roger. Roger made a second appearance on a episode of Playing Video Games with Mrs. Box, which was also a great episode. But I don't
Oh
think
my
we'll
God,
talk about
Mrs.
that.
Box. We haven't broken out Mrs. Box in like a year.
Yeah. But Roger went on for another 20 minutes. Oh no. Okay.
How is that possible? Oh, because we did the Q&A.
Yeah, there was a Q&A at the end of every presentation to have chat involvement too. It was really clever of you to do the price on the book before you revealed the actual title of the book, which was out of the jar. The incredible true story of a man who became a pickle and Beginner's Guide to International Espionage. A memoir and a how-to book in the same breath.
Thank you for enlightening
Thank you.
us.
It's been wonderful. Thank you in the chat at home for your wonderful questions. Thank you to the panel. And thank you, of course, to Dr. Teacher for hosting this and inviting me on the program. I'm looking forward to two more exciting and wonderful presentations. Thank you all for having me. Oh, the promo code, right? That's Roger Gherkin. R Gherkin is the promo code. R Gherkin, RGIRKIN. Use that promo code. You'll get the deal for 2 books for the price of 1. That's $39.99 for 2 books for the price of 1. Thank you very much.
And give it up once more for Roger Gherkin. Thank you, Roger.
And of course, between every presentation, we were like, well, we need to have a buffer or some sort of transition bit. And this is also the birth of a very infamous Everything Now show character that was made through this transition bit.
What an eye-opening testament to a person who literally is food. So hi, yeah, and if you've just tuned in, you're watching Everything Now. I am your host, Dr. Teacher, and our topic is food. We're going through and having various guests come on and talk about their experience and knowledge of food. And you just saw our first guest, Roger, who was turned into a pickle by the FBI. And great. I mean, I think I hear something.
Do you hear something?
This bumper is so good. It's an all-timer. Everything Now show bumper.
So loud.
Okay, now I'm getting scared.
The air horn. RIP headphone users, says Wavy
Hello?
Ones.
Where'd the show go?
Hello?
Who am I? Oh God!
Another incredible
Peppermint.
reveal.
Fuck!
No microphone.
This is the show where I get up in everyone's grill and I never tried or maybe they
Oh.
We got a mystery item. We got a mystery jar. Yeah!
Oh, what is that?
Fucking
No
God.
audio.
Oh, no audio?
The classic no audio message that we get in the
You
chat
love to
still
see
to this
it.
day.
Here comes the IRL
Peppermint
Roger
go.
Gherkin reveal, the non-green screen.
How are we doing?
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hell yeah! All right, let's redo that intro.
He's doing it again.
one.
Let's redo that intro.
Let's try this with me, the Pepper Man. How we all doing the show where I get to try things
Oh my
and I
God.
make people try things that they maybe have never tried or never experienced before. And so I'm so happy because today we're trying the mystery jar. You guys love it. We got the mystery jar. So yeah, I'm so happy to be on everything now. We got on the Pepper Man and we got a beautiful panel. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Ptolemy.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Roger Gherkin.
Awesome.
This guy
Anybody's
becomes
engineering at this point. It's just
Gonna
me.
try that?
That was
Try it.
engineering, and now I have the
Fuck.
camera or the phone
Shit.
camera.
What is it?
You've got to tell us what it is.
It's the mystery jar. Describe
Oh,
it.
so spicy.
Describe
So
it.
spicy.
We're getting spicy up in here with the Pepper Man. Try this. Try it.
Okay.
Such genuine fear in Julie's
Absolute
Get a
fear.
sniff in there. Oh, you got some on your sleeve.
Okay.
Lick it off your sleeve.
Okay.
Pepperman, are you single?
Oh yeah, try this, Pepper Man.
Okay, here I go.
Oh, eat it.
Oh, it's new.
Describe
That's
it.
new. That's never happened in my mouth before.
I don't think that's.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's definitely hot, but it's also
I can't place it.
That echo was part of the stream. You can see
Yeah.
a
I'm
comment
actually
about it
able to do
right there.
this.
Mike, hey, how's this sound? Huh? Yeah, try this. Try it. Try it, Pickle Man.
Roger, just try it.
Alright, I'll try it.
He'll get out of our face if you just try it.
So
Okay, here I go.
Oh.
What does it taste like? Spicy? Oh, it's so spicy.
be that spicy.
Oh, it's so spicy.
Why is it so spicy?
Describe another word.
Rough. It's
Definitely
I'm not
Great.
liking it.
grainy.
Great.
just a little bit of sand.
It's like there's sand in there.
Yeah, sand, I like it. Well, producers say I only get 3 guests, so, sorry. What's your name?
Just say.
have one. I think that's a good
That's fair.
Great,
Don't give him your
great.
information.
Don't give him your information.
Oh, I turned on my super high def camera. All right. Well,
Very
you know what
courteous
it's
of you
time
to
for. It's
spare
time for the
Aiden
Pepper
in
Man
that
to go back to his den and eat
is the
some
den?
more of this mystery jar.
What?
I hope he doesn't come back. Oh my god.
Oh, did it freeze? Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
He just went in.
Yeah.
Shouts out to that creepy
Where'd-
baby
where'd the brain
painting
go?
above the door that you almost never see.
Where'd the brain go?
What was in there, Kevin? I think it was Greek yogurt.
I will spare you from this this one again. Yeah, it was Greek yogurt. I think the Pepper Man said it was a mix of mayo and half.
And sand, apparently.
And sand. Definitely masturbated in that jar afterwards. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. And this, of course,
Bettering
is
your life, not preparing you.
Julie's character, which
Tommy was
was
the last
Tyler
episode,
M.
yeah.
Realist.
Great costume.
Yes. The bit of Julie. Well,
I would learn about, but there's a
I
word
don't want
for
to
what
spend
that
too much
was.
time on this episode.
I don't know what it is, and I don't think it's been invented yet. But that is okay. Well, anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your precious time with something that is not directly educational, that is not directly bettering your life, not preparing you for the real
right back.
world. Because as I've stated, I am a realist. My name is Tyler. So let's dive into my presentation. It's gonna be good. I
Night motion
just want to
design.
make sure that with my precious time that I've been given on this show, that I am bettering your life. in the best possible way. So thank you, first of all, to everything now, and to Dr. Teacher for letting me come on here and speak about a subject that I'm incredibly passionate about. In fact, I would say I'm angry about. So yes, hello, thank you kindly for giving me this time slot. You're probably wondering what I'm doing here on this food episode. What do I have to talk about? If you'll go to the next slide. I want to talk about kids' menus.
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk about them because they are one of the, many scourges of our society. Kids these days aren't prepared for how hard life hits them right out the gate. And kids' menus are something that come into the hands and go across the eyes of kids across this nation. And it's a contact point, a useful contact point for delivering information to children. And we're using it for things like, oh, hey, draw a funny hat, or, oh, hey, connect the dots, which are two scenarios kids are never going to have to confront unless they are in the extremely lucky position of being a hat designer, or they have an emergency where they need to label a constellation. So we need to revamp kids' menus to prepare children for what is really going to happen to life, silly. Because life is actually pretty bleak. So if you'll continue to the next slide. Why do I feel so strongly about this? Well, because I'm living proof that kids need to be prepared rather than coddled, okay? I mean, things are happening out there in the real world that are not being addressed, okay? And I just don't want another kid to go through what I went through, stumbling through my life, not ready. So please move forward, and I will... Today I stand before
old cast members will lose
nearly 8 years old, with my life mostly together. But back when I was younger and life hit me, I didn't have the tools to deal with things. And I'm not trying to have a sob story here. The things I've dealt with are things that probably many kids are dealing with that are just real. For instance, when I was a baby, my dad forced me to build my own cradle out of the raw materials around me. I, of course, ended up sleeping on an uneven pile of oval makeup removers with magazines as blankets for 2 years. Now, of course, after 2 years, I eventually figured out how to use a bandsaw, and I took my closet door and constructed it into a workable bed frame, but it took me 2 years to get there. If I had had some sort of preparation, some real-life skills, almost like schooling, trade schooling, perhaps I would have gotten there sooner. Another classic experience. When I was 2, my parents left me at home by accident when they went into the witness protection program, and I never saw them again. A classic thing that could happen to any kid, I'm sure. I'm not unique here. I mean, after that, I was adopted by the thieves that came to raid our empty house afterwards, and it was an adjustment. I mean, they exclusively referred to me as jewels and money because that's what they had actually hoped to find in my house. But I had to just deal with that. And again,
you can see in that cut previously to the panel, I'm on my phone, and then you just see me messaging on my alt account. You see my comment, so I'm just like clearly just like typing a chat message during the show.
My favorite stuffed animal in the driveway while she was on her way to sell it for money so she could get an inner elbow tattoo of a wolf. And to cover it up, she told me that Boris died of a rare and contagious blood infection. Naturally, I assumed I carried the blood infection as well and adapted to avoid human touch for the rest of my life. Now, if someone had warned me about such a thing, instead of wasting all of my kids' TV time with things like Dora and, SpongeBob, maybe I would have figured out that Boris couldn't have carried a blood infection and I didn't need to grow up completely terrified of touching other people. But that's just one experience. I mean, there's plenty of other things that kids' menus could be teaching kids, like, if you'll go to the next slide, of course, speaking of pets, when I was 4, my thief dad made me take my goldfish out back and shoot him because the vet said it was very sick. That's a situation that I'm sure millions of kids across America are having to deal with this kind of pain. Of course, in my case, it was a little
Aiden,
bit
that alt account unfortunately no longer exists. It's been
my
converted.
dad eventually realized that
you'll never know.
The vet had actually said that the goldfish wasn't sick, and it was actually the healthiest goldfish he had ever seen in 40 years of being a doctor.
Oh my God.
And what he had really mixed it up with was that my dog was actually the one that was extremely sick. So again, a classic situation. If I had just had some warning for how hard life was going to be, maybe I would have matured a little faster than 7 as I am now. I mean, I've got control of it.
Also, like, something with these presentations was just like the reason why this format ended was because it was too much work. Like, these were amazing episodes, but it's just like the reality of making a presentation every week was fun for a little while, but then it just became a big strain on everyone, just like, you know, having to make a new presentation every time. But it does provide so much backstory for a character. Like, imagine if a character came into a cavalcade and like gave this dense of a backstory before like going into whatever they're going into. It's just like it gives you so much it just gives so much reality to the character, but also you like for some characters they don't go till the end, so you see them on the side panel and they're reacting and you're just like, who could this person be about, or like what is this person about, until they come onto stage and then they give this backstory too. So it's kind of like this cool give and take where you get like a glimpse into it, or you see a whole presentation, then you see how they react to other people's presentations. But it is just like a cool different way to do the show. Yeah.
Just a couple more things that happened to me off the top of my head. Let me think. When I was 5, a grease fire broke out in my house.
Julie is writing for the Conan podcast now, actually.
She is,
That is what she's the most professional out of all of us in terms of achieving actual career success in comedy.
Yeah. She wrote for
She
Clickhole
got too
before
big
this
for the
too.
show. Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, she's killing it. We love her so much.
Contain it was to actually move the fire to my room and let it burn out there. That was one. Oh, another thing. Let me think. There was
Here
when I was
comes the
6,
music
I had to
for
get a
no
job
reason.
as a waiter to support my parents' dream of having no responsibilities at all. And on national TV, I became the first person to get fired at the end of an episode of Undercover Boss. You know, the part where they're giving people houses.
Oh, that was you?
That was me.
Oh.
It's almost like a playoff, but like no one else can hear it. I don't know why. I was just like, oh, this needs music right now.
I think it's just because like we forget that like the idea is to have it kind of going all the time, but then we pause it for what, you know, like when the Pepperman thing happens or whatever, and then you just like 15 minutes and you're like, oh shit, right, I forgot the music. You can just turn it on.
And then no idea how loud it is.
Yeah.
5 or 6 at the time, but now I'm much older. I'm nearly 8.
Yeah, Lil Uzi Nate, there's a scripted Conan podcast that's going to be released, I think, sometime next year that she wrote on.
Yeah. And Kevin, no, we can't. Is the short answer to your question. We don't have any money. But also like we want to be in charge of our own content. Like it's like a whole battle of the beast, I feel like, where we want to be in charge of our own creative, but we don't, we can't overwork ourselves. So it's like a whole thing of like, how much work do we want to take on to achieve that balance? And also like ideally, it would be a thing of like, oh, wait.
Hey,
oh yeah, 2 puppets.
What's up, Matt and Chris? Welcome,
guys,
and 4 friends.
And 4 friends. We're just talking about the show that we do. But I think I mentioned on Sydney's episode too. But it'd be great if we had, all of today to write tomorrow's episode, and all of tomorrow, where like we wouldn't have to worry about whatever we're gonna do next for our profession or our job or whatever. But that's not the reality. Like if we had all that time, maybe we could do like another format like this that is more like worked on, I guess, before. But the reality with just like having life and having a job, and having like to study for law school in Jake's case, and like there's just so many other things that we have to focus on that it's just like realistically we get caught up in all that, and we can't like fully work as hard as we'd like to on certain things. But that doesn't mean like so we stopped doing this form of the show, so we would stop putting out a half-assed version of it. But I feel like we still put out a really good effort in the things that we do, or we like figure out how we can still harness that same creative potency into a different format that doesn't like require that much lead time. But yeah, also curious on your thoughts, Jake, too.
Yeah, I mean, like Sydney was saying, we have sort of done a version of a PowerPoint presentation type format since then. Like we have this like classroom format that we've done where like the idea is it's like students giving a class presentation. We've also done like a TED Talk format, which is basically the same idea. I think the main difference between those is definitely the panel. Like we haven't really done too much with like a side set panel. Since we've moved into the new studio, there's not like really an obvious space to put a secondary set in the new studio. So we haven't done too much with that. But I don't know. I mean, I agree. Like when we were doing this show, it did feel like a lot of work to try to like produce this much stuff. When we do this type of format now, it doesn't feel that hard. Like I feel like it has become like we've gotten a lot better at producing the show since then. Like we've come a long way in just like making the other aspects of the show much more efficient in terms of like the engineering and preparing to put on the show. And like, I mean, for me, at least now there's no more hour and a half commute. So that has made it slightly easier just on like my mental health for the show. So it would be interesting, I think, to return to doing something similar to this with like more scripted, more like presentation based stuff. But I think the bigger issue with doing this format every week was just like, you know, like it's sort of like the age old issue of Everything Now show, which is like we never want to do one thing for more than a few months and then like we want to try something else. And so I think like we had done this. I mean, it is nice. This format was like the fact that every episode was a different theme, I think did really make it feel fresh. Like this episode is like the topic is food. Then you would do an episode where the topic is machines, or the episode was like the topic was, you know, like money or magic or whatever. And I do feel like that for me was enough to keep it feeling fresh creatively. But I think eventually, you know, like there's a reason that like we changed it. And like, I think beyond just it being a lot of work, I think we were just like wanting to experiment with other formats for creative reasons as well.
Also, I feel like to kind of up the interactivity with the chat, like this had a certain aspect of the Q&As for the chat, which I think was good. And we didn't fully realize it because we didn't have the viewership that we have now with this format, but also like the interactivity isn't constant, where I feel like you have a pre-built presentation, which is, you know, fine, but there's not a lot that the chat can do to change that. So there's not a lot where it can be redirected, where the show can be now with like a big event where something is mentioned, or a commercial is like a sound alert for commercials is brought up, and then like the whole kind of route for the storyline is changed, which we've kind of found with like later formats. But I mean, there is a lot to be said about, you know, the pros to having a lot of just at least pre-thought out stuff, character-wise.
I think another challenge with this format that we were discussing when we were talking about how to change it was the idea of like, from a viewer experience, it was less accessible to just kind of like jump in the middle.
Yeah.
Than the like the advantage of the cavalcade format is because there's a new character on screen every like 3 or 5 or 10 minutes. Like if you come in the middle of an episode, if you wait, you know, 5 minutes, you will likely like see a new thing from the beginning. So like you're not coming in the middle of a bit. Like these bits were basically like, you know, you would have one character on stage sometimes for like a half hour or 45 minutes. And so if you came in late to that and you missed the setup, like you're just kind of sitting there kind of outside of the inside joke for a while waiting for something to happen. Whereas with the cavalcades or things like Barley's Bar, we try to like really focus on making it visually and like content wise immediately, if not like obvious what's going on. Like at least you kind of like with job interviews or with Barley's Bar, like you can just look at it and be like, okay, I pretty much get what's happening here. Like there's a job interview, we're in an office, two people are talking, or like we're in a bar, there's patrons in the bar. So that is, I think, a weakness of this format is that unless you come in from the beginning of the bit or the show, it can be kind of hard to like understand what's going on.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was a big issue that people didn't know what was happening or what was going on, and that the doctor-teacher idea of like having this host that you could check in didn't really work in the middle of a presentation, which is why we moved towards the other formats. Also, I thought for sure I changed the what's happening. I was pretty proud of it, but I guess it's still Rocky sucks at Photoshop. So Cake Flaps, this isn't Rocky sucks at Photoshop. This is a retrospective on our show. Why didn't it change? Oh, well. You guys know. If you're in the chat and you can explain it, please let people know if we miss it. But yeah. Either way, this is kind of leading into the segue of like the format that we brought up with Sydney in the past episode, but something that we thought of for an idea for a new format that kind of involves the good parts of this, of the kind of panel aspect of somebody who's constantly commentating, and also like a good solid format for guests to appear on, is our video game format that we're in development for right now. But it's basically, the concept is you're like a streamer that we collab with would come on and play their favorite retro game. If it's Pokemon Yellow or Legend of Zelda, like on like original Nintendo, whatever like the retro game is, and then they would play the game, but we would be acting out that game as Everything Now show, and we would be playing the characters in that game. So if you're doing a Pokemon thing, we'd have like kind of a emulator of like the streamer being able to walk around, but once they run into a Pokemon, it's like Jake comes out as Mr. Thor or something, and like the thing you interact with is like another person, or like something that just like you can blend Everything Now into that, and the streamer can have this whole thing up front being like, you know, I've always loved playing this game. I'm really excited to see what it looks like, or how it feels to play it now. And you kind of have that like expectation set up, but also like throughout the game, you can have that kind of outside perspective of a person just kind of reacting to what they're seeing, which I feel like we don't really have with, you know, the current formats that we did with this, where there's just like an outside viewer that is kind of commentating on it.
Lil Uzi, Nate, that dating sim is actually like one of the specific things that we brought up, and I think that a dating sim would work really well because it doesn't require a lot of like graphic, like preloaded animations and stuff to like make it, you know, it's mainly a text-based type game. So I think that would really lend itself to our technical setup. And just a tiny taste, no, you did not miss the how did you discover ENS segment. We have not gotten there. But yeah, dating sim is definitely a type of game that we are interested in trying to parody.
Yeah, it would basically, like, the conceit too would be like we would stream in that gaming category. So if we did like a Fortnite reenactment type stream, we would stream in the Fortnite category and see how long it would take for us to get kicked out. But we're realizing, like, from streaming just chatting, it was good at first, but now it's become so bloated that it's very hard to discover streamers within just chatting unless it's like literally a dice roll where someone is just like scrolling through, because we're not quite at the bottom and very far from the top. So it's also like kind of a strategy into figuring out how we can do different categories which aren't as saturated, and find kind of new ways to get discovered there. Really technically difficult to do. Yeah, and I think it would be something that, if not just something we completely plan out with the person we're collaborating with. So it's like if we collab with Uncle Joe and we play a retro slot machine arcade. This is a bad example, but he plays a lot of like poker based and like casino games when he plays. So if we like design something around that, it'd be more of like a longer term project than just like doing it the day before. So kind of like what you're seeing now with just more written out planned character stuff, but more of like a more planned out project, but that is a collaboration that somebody who collabs with us isn't forced to do a character necessarily. They can still be themselves as they stream, but also interact with Everything Now show in a way that's comfortable with us. Kind of like how Harry Horror collabed with us, where he kind of was trying to figure out the murder mystery of Teddy with us that seemed like it's kind of in the same vein of what we're aiming to do. And I feel like also just to practice, we'll kind of do some games where Jake will host it and he'll play the game, or I'll host it and I'll play a game where the rest of the cast is doing it. Because that way one of us can engineer while pretending to play the game. And then we won't have to sacrifice like a cast member performing or not.
Little Uzi Date is asking, have you guys ever considered one scripted show a month or something to test the scripted format? And so like these old formats are probably the closest thing we've gotten to. Well, actually, the Radical episodes, the very most like original format of Everything Now show is probably the most scripted version of the show. The very first format was like a 3-act structure that would sort of like merge at the end. And so all the bits were pre-planned, and like it was pre-planned in a way where you would have sort of like two storylines that would slowly kind of like come together, and then at the very end they would collide in some sort of like big I don't know, it might just be easier to like watch an example of like an ending. But these were like very heavily scripted, and we had to stop doing them because they just like took so much
we
time
would do one show like once every 2 weeks because we would just like they take so long to write and make and get guests for. But the conceit was like you'd have two artists, quote unquote, that would come on to present their findings to the theme, and then you would vote at the end to see which artist gets a $50,000 grant for their art.
Oh yeah, the big check. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the big check. This is extreme. This is one of the best, I feel like, episodes of this format that we did, and also I feel like the first episode that Sydney was on, of Everything Now show.
Holy shit! 1 second, hold on.
But this, it was about time to freeze. I was trying to show everyone. This is me hosting as Radical, the host. This is Rocky engineering. This is the whole engineer setup, but was also the stepbrother of Radical. So it's like Radical was this person who wanted their internet show, like got their stepbrother to engineer for them, and then this is their roommate Spanx Yeah Baby, who is the band member. Yeah, and there's Teddy.
We're so guys.
But apart from the two guests, we'd have like other segments that we'd do. We'd have Russell's Corner, where he goes and talks about what Russell's feeling. We'll just
we should show skip to Sydney's intro and like the beginning of her bit.
Welcome to Everything Now. First time you and the one you look at.
Also for this, we had snorted stunt powder that we got from our friend Vince, or the cast did, and they didn't know that it was cocaine, so they had snorted a bunch of stunt powder before doing the extreme episode, which I think appears.
Took some of the stunt dust. It's like medicine. Hey, that's my beautiful stepbrother. He runs the entire show. He edits on this computer here. Take a look at what he's
It was
looking
also
at.
just so
You get the
genuinely
first
hot
time
in
view into
that
what he
house
looks
all the
at
time.
every day.
Yeah.
Some BTS.
Rocky's just sweating naturally from how hot
yeah.
it is, but it really adds to
Guys,
the character.
We're live, we're doing it. Alright, I'm gonna set down this camera now. Alright, let's calm everything down for a second, guys. I misplaced my glasses. Disgusting rich people, those museum curators that you're lost. For you, and you're gonna decide and vote throughout the episode which one.
No, I'm speaking from a character's perspective, Lil Uzi Nate. So the characters thought they were doing something called stunt dust, which was like they wanted to get extreme for the episode. So they asked their friend Vince, and he's like, "This is what will get you extreme," and he called it stunt dust, but it was just cocaine.
It's pretty
But it
extreme.
wasn't
We didn't actually do cocaine, but I guess we should have.
Sports hero, and we have a muscle man. Our first guest.
Yeah, I forgot. It was Cooper's.
That's right. Play
Cooper
that
was
sexy
the
rich
man.
Sphinx.
This episode really was
Yeah.
iconic.
First up,
And
we got
maybe a top 3 all-time
Daredevil
episode
woman.
Yeah.
of Everything Now show.
She's doing stunts. She's taking extreme to the next level. Everyone, please welcome Helvetica.
This was Sydney's first appearance, I think, on the show.
Helvetica. Welcome to Everything Now. Please welcome
Aspiring
Helvetica.
X Games killer.
Hello.
Hi, I'm an aspiring sports action X Games winner.
Wow.
Let me see if I can turn
That's
it up.
amazing. The X Games. That's where they do those motorcycle tricks and kick flips.
Exactly, and I'm here to film my audition video for the X Games to win the X Games and also win the love of my mother, who abandoned me after I won second place in a beauty pageant.
Oh. That's okay. Mothers can be overrated. Right? Right, Russell?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, mamas are overrated.
mine's pretty good. Sorry, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
sorry,
yeah, we don't have to leave
I
it
just
on
had a dark moment, but I'm here to, and I'm submitting my audition tape, and I'm filming it live here and now.
That's amazing. Did they just accept submission tapes?
They do, and
That's
it's.
insane.
I just planned the most wonderful trick for y'all. I'm gonna shoot myself out of a cannon.
Whoa, can you repeat that, please?
Wait, what?
I didn't hear that.
What you just said?
I'm gonna shoot myself out of a cannon.
The audio is so good.
Really? Wait, how?
Um.
Do we have a cannon?
I don't
Oh, I
think we
brought
have a
my
can-
own. I brought my own.
You brought your own
Brought
cannon.
your own cannon?
I brought my own cannon for the X Games. After all.
Huh.
Wow. Great.
Okay.
Amazing. And you're gonna launch
The
yourself
lights.
live on the show, and we're gonna get to see it.
And
What is the? Are you just gonna launch it? Are you going anywhere? Like, where's this?
I'm planning on shooting myself around the world. Someone did it in 80 days. I'm gonna do it here now.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you, we
Give
eat
it
the
up.
money.
Yeah.
Yes, yum yum.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Hey,
Everybody.
thank you,
You're gonna.
Anonymous.
This is gonna happen right now.
And I guess this is a good time to mention we are still donating all donations made to help support Armenia for the Armenia Fund. So thank you for donating. We're just going to keep upping this bar, but so far we made 140. So thank you guys so much for that.
No?
Yeah, so here I go.
Oh. Okay, she's going out to the backyard right now.
She put it up in our backyard?
I guess.
This bit was
And,
such
we're
a
gonna
technical
see the
triumph
launch out of
for
a-
the show.
out of a
Like,
cannon.
this really
Okay,
opened a
I think
lot
I have
of
a live
doors
feeder right now.
in terms of what we
Yeah, live
realized
feeder
was
right now.
possible.
Whoa, wow, that's a cannon.
All right.
That's-
Okay.
okay.
Helvetica. Oh, are you in the cannon?
I'm in the cannon.
Wow.
I am ready, willing, and able to launch myself out of this cannon and into my mother's heart.
Okay, great.
This is really sad.
Iconic line.
Let's give a countdown
Okay.
for Helvetica, and she's gonna launch herself around the world.
All right, guys.
I'm ready.
Oh, the fuse is lit.
Also
All right, got
Canon
3,
cameras,
2,
right?
1. Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Whoa. Okay. I think we're cutting to some sort of drone footage.
Yeah.
Of Helvetica.
This is the exact bit we did with Chris for the auditions. For also, you can see her hands.
Yeah, I love the hands.
Drone online.
Is the drone online? Hold on, let's adjust the drone. Drone. Come in, drone. Come in.
Can you read me, drone?
Drone. Drone, can you read me?
Okay, I think I got it.
Oh.
Whoa. The drone's trying to find her still.
Okay, the drone is searching.
I think it's trying to find her.
Safe. I hope that she's not dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, it found her! Oh my god!
We used this exact scene.
Helvetica!
Oh!
Holy shit!
Oh my gosh! Helvetica, can you come in? We attached the microphone to you. Can you hear me?
Oh my god, I hear you loud and clear, baby.
Great.
Good night, Kevin.
Great, so you're flying through the air right now. Audience, there may be a bit of an audio delay. She's very high up. But Helvetica, how are you feeling? How's it feel to fly through the air right now?
Oh my god, it's so beautiful, and I hope to just crash land into my
microphone peeking in.
place at the X Games.
Wow, this is amazing, guys. She's gonna fly around the entire world, hopefully land back on set, and then qualify for the X Games. All right, Helvetica, we'll be checking back in with you. Stay safe out there, and enjoy the view.
Oh my goodness, I will.
Bye. Oh
wow.
God. Okay.
I don't.
Yeah.
I feel nervous for her.
Space just shredding.
It's pretty sick. It's pretty extreme.
Oh, that's amazing.
Gotta
Chad, how
admit.
you feeling?
Chad, how do you
Didn't
feel
you
about
go
that?
outside
How's
and
it
skate
going?
your half pipe in this episode? too?
You're just tuning in. This is everything now. Oh,
Welcome to Everything Now.
An aspiring action sports hero, Helvetica, is flying through the sky right now. She just shot herself out of a cannon to prove that she's ready for the X Games and also her mother's love. Oh. Guys, are you feeling extreme yet? I'm feeling an extreme version.
Also.
Oh, this is another all-timer Everything Now show bumper. The bumper's so nice, you gotta play it for it.
Oh god.
It's Russell time! Russell! It's corner!
R.I.P. headphone users.
You did a lot of that stunt dust.
Oh man, don't worry about it. None, don't. It's all good. It just helps me kind of concentrate. Yeah. So today at Russell's Corner, we're talking about extreme things. The things I like to think about that are extreme.
Wrestling. I still follow wrestling on PWG shows every other month. It's what
So
I do mostly with my extended budget, income, if you will. But also I still play the drums. I used to play drums for church, but now I just play for myself. That's how I get my head out.
Let's see some drums, Russell. Let's see some drums.
Yeah, he plays the drums.
Hey guys, give me a Russell. Come on, Russell. Come on, Russell. We're rolling.
Good night, Aiden.
Night, Aiden.
This is the screen cap I used to make the Teddy emote slash sub picture. This is the exact moment. Fun fact. Anyway, we're gonna skip along.
God, this episode is so good.
Stood on top of mountains. Fierce,
Cooper's bit.
strong mountains. Or muscle men.
So for this one, the second character was our friend Cooper, who wanted to be the greatest muscle man of all time. It's a great reveal that I don't want to
in the
fully
muscle man community.
blow here.
You can only achieve so much muscle. And that's where I come in. I am the modern muscle man. Give it up! Woo! Ah! Ah!
Whoa. Was there a booking mistake?
I
Shit.
don't know.
I gotta check my emails.
Can
better.
you handle this?
It sounds like
Can
it.
you handle it?
Hey.
Hey, be nice, thanks.
Come on. Alright, this is Muscle Man, I guess.
Sorry, this is Muscle Man. Nice to. Muscle Man. Well, formerly known as Muscle Boy, formerly known as Trent, was my birth name. Hello.
I love his title card. It just says Muscle Man twice.
Yeah, Muscle Man twice.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, Muscle Man, his whole conceit, he couldn't be the biggest muscle man training wise because of his body, so he wanted to be a muscle man that was turned inside out, so you could see his muscles, which is also kind of a conceit we used for the Magic talent show too. So many great ideas in this episode, but he's basically like, I'm gonna go turn myself inside out.
Yeah, his whole thing was like, the beauty of muscles, like, is being covered up by skin, and like, you know, to truly appreciate the human form, you have to get all that skin out of the way so that you can so you can see those beautiful muscles.
Genius. Great. So
There we go. And here we go. And you can just hold it.
this is when I go outside.
Alright guys, we're ready to ramp.
Yeah, this was the segment here was you were gonna take suggestions from things from the chat and draw them while skating
We're
a
gonna
half
start with the
pipe.
tricks, guys.
Alright, let's do this.
Fuck yeah, I'm turning on the audio.
Here's a
here.
shot of the
Alright,
kitchen
let's pause up.
/ prop / costume.
Yeah, this was the house I
area.
used to live in, guys.
Alright.
What
Yeah,
skate
look at
trick
this nightmare.
should
Look
Al
at the,
do?
there's a
home.
couch in the middle of the room.
Couch
Vote by
just
going
in the
exclamation point,
kitchen.
vote, space, and then a number. 0 for switch, cook, and grind. 1 for front disaster. 2 for shove it, rock to fakie.
Turn the volume up.
Here you go. Can you hear me, Al?
Hold on, I'm turning the volume up, Russell.
I turned your audio on. You should hear me now.
Okay, I can hear you now. All
right.
right, first I'll get into the light here. First I'm gonna bust out these oil pastels. This is what I'll be drawing with. I got a nice canvas here.
Just
You
a
guys
tiny
will
taste.
vote.
He built that half pipe.
On a trick.
Yeah, I built
Also, a
that.
picture.
I had to sell it on Facebook,
give him a nice ramp view.
Facebook shop when we were moving out.
All right, I'm gonna go
Some
with a
guy
nice full
came
ball
and
blue.
took it apart and gave it to his son.
All right,
All
Al,
right.
you ready for your first trick?
I'm ready for my first trick, Russ.
All right. The poll is closed. And the winner is, oh, it's a tie. You need
what?
to do a front disaster and a shove it, rock to fakie.
Oh, both?
You gotta do both, man.
Okay,
Next
great.
up,
This is a front
guys. What is Al drawing?
All right. Oh,
Oh, shit. You okay?
my ankle. Hold on.
Anyway,
What am I drawing?
I also had to
Fly
draw.
fishing with Breeze.
got a
That's so
skull
dead.
here.
So extreme. That's a
All right.
sick-ass skull.
Get another time.
Then we came back in. It's like when people look at the past and they're just like, oh, I wish that still exists. And then people in retrospect are like, well, it was way too dangerous to ever should have existed in the first place, that it shouldn't have existed. This is looking at the show at this point in time.
Yeah.
It was
Rose-tinted glasses.
way too harmful and painful. It should have never existed.
Incredible editing. Spanx playing with his teeth.
Yeah!
Anyway, that's a glimpse. Maybe we'll see Muscle Man when he comes out.
Yeah, we should at least do that reveal.
Then I believe he's going to go behind this red curtain on the side here and...
Spanx' shirt getting keyed out.
Okay, let's go. That was pretty wild.
Okay, I'm going to pull up this this voice monitoring thing here.
We got a microphone outside.
Cover up the door. And
you guys don't want to see
So
that
we were
stuff.
like, all right, we're going to send him out to do his thing
Keep it open.
and listen in with the
Keep it open a
microphone.
little bit, just so we can hear
As he gets
anything,
turned
in case he's
inside
yelling
out.
For help.
We are here for you.
And let me
So good so far.
Great, I'm gonna pull up this voiceover.
I don't know if your mic is up.
There you got us. All right, let's see if this plays.
In advance of the procedure happening tomorrow, recorded this message so it's more informative and you can reach peak muscle yourself.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
This is the process that will take place. Basically, I will be first initializing step 1, unhinging my jaw.
Okay,
just watch a YouTube video of a snake or python. The same principle, virtually painless. Just a couple of clicks.
Virtually
Now we're on
painless.
step 2, which will be swallowing myself. After watching numerous Tom and Jerry cartoons, the basic principle
Swallowing
is once the
myself.
jaw is unhooked, you pull the lower lip and the lower jaw over the top of the head, basically encasing yourself in all lower lip. And then
Thank you, we eat the money, yes. Yeah.
Turkey hater, thank
He
you.
was pretty adamant about it.
Thank you, Turkey haters.
Thank you.
He called his family.
As I swallow, everything becomes involved.
I don't feel good about this.
Peak muscle, peak muscle man, no longer muscle boy, no longer regular man or regular boy. That's about it.
I did it.
Muscle Man, are you okay?
Okay, now announcing. Oh God. Now announcing the modern muscle man.
That's Spanx. Oh my.
Oh. Jesus, Russell. Oh, Jesus.
He's too impressed.
A little tuft of hair sticking out of the back of the morph suit.
How do I look?
Russell, we need to zoom in.
Oh, Spanx is literally tucked into the corner so we can avoid laughing just directly into camera. He's just fully... That was like a big problem that Will had when playing Spanx, was he just like could not figure out how to not laugh while he was doing it. So he would just like go and either like duck behind the table or like go into the corner.
Oh, what the fuck happened, Russell?
I threw up. That's fine.
You threw up blood?
What?
Oh, how are you gonna operate the computer, Russell?
Oh shit. Yeah, it's blood.
He just wipes his bloody hand on his white shirt.
Hey, dude.
Hey, give a look to the camera here so you can see
Oh,
what's
Jesus
happening.
Christ!
Good shit. Really
That's
good
a glimpse
shit.
into the old Everything Now show. Also, to get more context, this was when Jake was working on the show too. He helped write this episode with us, but that's the thing that we kind of ran into, where it's like, you know, Jake can only come on at this point because the show is built into this format where it allows guests to come on, but we already have this like weird main cast of people that we want to allow for a show that can like anyone that contributes can do any role, and we were kind of locked into this like format that was just like, okay, these are the three people that are on, and like some people can write but they can't perform as well. so we wanted to fix that, and that's how we got to the panel format where we could have new characters come on, and then Jake and Julie could write as well as perform on it. So we moved away from this, which was for the best because we created even better formats with the character cavalcades and all that too. But yeah, it was definitely a great point in time. There was a moment
This
where...
episode ends with, we can just spoil it because I think we should probably move on soon, but this episode ends with Helvetica Sydney crashing back into the studio from her trip around the world and slamming so hard into Muscle Man that it turns him back right side in, which is a great...
Yeah, there's also a point where I saw a skateboard in half with a power tool saw. The live music element is something that, like, I feel is impossible to bring back, but was so good. That was
really great.
It just brings such an energy to the whole show that's hard to recreate. Where you can just, like, when there is downtime, there's just, like, someone playing music.
You guys asked for it. This was definitely the most MTV like episode of the show.
Yeah.
We did it. You did it.
Are you holding the phone? Who is editing while you're doing it? I think you're holding the phone, right? You filmed this part?
What's up, Terry? Chat, say hi to Terry.
I guess maybe. I don't know. It could be Rocky.
I don't think Helvetica's dead, guys.
But Rocky can't
Rocky's
fade
engineering,
between two, yeah.
Everyone's saying hi, Terry, in the chat. That's sick as fuck.
Oh no, it's you. Look, you can see your hand there.
Yeah.
It's like a cool music video.
The phone camera is something that's like really awesome, but hard to do with like the green screen. But I guess you could just like try and just go for it again. But like even with the phone camera character I did with like running around the street kind of provides like a different energy to the show.
Yeah, I would love to do more experimenting. Well, when I leave next week for AZ, I definitely want to try to do some experimenting with call-in characters. That will be, I live like right by this like weird arroyo where there's just like a bunch of like cactuses and weird plants and shit. So I definitely want to do something out in the wilderness right there.
Yeah, that's perfect. But yeah, there's a part where
again, and my daughter says
there's a great beat of this where he comes in and like he's basically like, my wife doesn't love me anymore after she saw what I got turned into. But then finally in the third beat he comes back, he's like, oh, my wife's okay with it, my daughter says it's great, everything's fine, they actually like me more because of this. And then that's when
she feels like I can be seen in public with her now, and
really
between you and me and then the entire internet, the wife is finally down again. You know?
Down for what?
Down for However, we're gonna be able to do it because we're gonna have to figure out how. Gross.
Yeah,
gross,
your
gross.
penis is.
I mean, it's inverted now, so I guess we'll do it. Whatever you do when you get creative. That's good.
Well,
exactly.
you seem happy.
Feel great. Honestly, I gotta tell you, everything seems to be looking up. I'm Muscle Boy, and that's the greatest I've ever felt in a while.
Oh God! Oh my God! Helvetica, you're back!
A seamless transition.
You made it! Guys, you lived!
Helvetica!
My mother loves me!
Sydney's hair.
And there you have it. Yeah, so good. And then at the end, the audience would vote on who gets the $50,000 after seeing that.
Here!
Get out!
Couldn't even stay
Oh
inside
yeah,
for
and the
more than
loser
10
gets
minutes?
just yelled at.
Get off the set!
Fly fishing with Bree? I agree.
Of everything now, the $50,000 the audience has chosen. Let's get into this extreme cam. Oh! Here we go.
Art!
We're getting into it. Hold on. Let's get to the extreme cam. You guys voted. Wait a minute.
I would like to thank this first donor who helped make me. And I would love to thank my mama. I'll be here until you pick me up in your Ford Bronco.
Guys, we did it. This is everything now. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what you see, subscribe. If you like what you see, tell your friends. We're doing everything now. This is extreme. This is extreme.
Wow.
Incredible.
Wow. Yeah.
What an ep.
What an episode. All-timer for sure. Yeah, there's just such a energy there that I feel like we capture sometimes with the very unhinged episodes, but there is just something where it's just like, I guess a lot to do with that camera, because this was also unique to this format too, with like the phone camera and like doing stuff. There was still like the crazy editing, which people actually complained about too, of like a lot of zooming. I'm sure like some people were like, oh, it sounds so great, like compared to, you know, not as crazy editing as right now. But also, if that is the show all the time, like people, like you will get a headache from watching it, of like doing that like zoom thing all the time. But Rocky's editing in that did really set the tone of like the editing for the entire show, up to this point. Get back into a practical set. Yeah, we'll just build a facade set of this exact thing. But yeah, it's interesting. It's just like a whole completely different thing now.
Yeah, it has evolved tremendously.
How do I get back to our playlist?
To support.
It's also like bringing up the context again of that type of episode is like the episode before that was 2 weeks before it, and the episode after that was 2 weeks after. So you don't have the like the thing about Twitch is like, yeah, it'd be great to write, you know, a full episode every time, but people want the consistency. People want to see a stream not even twice a week, more than twice a week, which doesn't lend to that type of like creative process of like being able to write and do stuff like that. Shoot the entire show in a half pipe. There's so many episodes. Also, for whoever's here, I do want to touch on, we've gotten so over time, so let me know, Jake, if you're too tired and you want to tap out too, because I'm totally fine with ending it. But I do want to hear from chat, like how you discovered the show, when you discovered the show, like how you got here, because we are trying to figure out how to make it more discoverable and like how to figure out ways to get people to the show, because we've streamed on Twitch, we've streamed on YouTube, we've streamed on Facebook. And it seems like everybody who watches has had a different story of how they've gotten to the show. And we're kind of trying to figure out how people got here.
Yeah, just as sort of like a jumping off point, some things that we have talked about as like ways to get more exposure. We've thought about streaming in different categories, because like I also was saying, the just chatting category does seem to be sort of like saturated, and we find ourselves now with our viewership numbers kind of like in the middle of the pack, where like early on it was we were getting a lot of people rating us and like randomly clicking on our stream just because we were near the very bottom. So, you know, it was like a pity thing to just like check on whatever the like lowest viewership stream was. But now that we're sort of more in the middle of the pack, I think we have less traffic of that type, and like it's a little bit harder to just kind of pick us out of the crowd. So we've been thinking about like Alex was saying with these like game parody streams that we're thinking about doing, like streaming in the category of the game that we're parodying. So if we're doing a Pokemon game parody, like we would stream in a Pokemon game category until the algorithms or whatever figure out what we're doing and kick us out. So that would be one way to get some more people. And then I think collaboration has been something that we definitely have seen a lot of really good results with, and something that a lot of people have recommended that we do. I think Rocky's Photoshop show is like a great example of just like a simple format. I know he's collaborated with other streamers and with just like random comedy friends from around the sort of like LA scene. And so that has been a really good way to sort of branch out into other people's audiences and sort of like merge and share audiences. But I think it would be cool to try to find more ways to bring that collaborative vibe to the main show. And just like we've done some collaborations on the main show, and I think they've all been pretty great for the most part. Like, I think the tricky part with those is that they do require a little bit more front end production, because we want to make them sort of like bespoke and specific to the streamer that we're collaborating with, so that we are working to their strengths, and also so that their viewership, like the audience that they bring to the show, feels like there is some part of the content that they enjoy watching on that streamer's stream, like has some, you know, whatever je ne sais quoi or like vibe of that show is being implemented into whatever it is we're doing. Like, we don't want to just do like a normal Jonks and then like a random streamer that you know is in there in the mix. Like, we want to make it sort of like more about their whatever content makes them popular on their stream. So that does make it so that there's a little bit more work required, which then in turn makes it you know, a little bit harder to do consistently.
Yeah, I think the good thing about the improv streams we've been doing too is it feels like something that if we really need to focus fully on a complete idea, like a collaboration stream like that, we can really supplement the improv streams where the chat is giving us like a lot and we're able to like do stuff more in the moment, that we can, you know, take more time to focus on those. 'Cause even Sunday, we were talking about, you know, doing a new type of format, and we just all of us ended up being very busy that we could go and do that improv stream, and it still felt like we were still putting out a good quality thing, but we weren't sacrificing that, where we could like push that off to maybe something that's closer to the election or something that's like, you know, more relevant. But but yeah, it gets tough with kind of putting in both like that full effort and trying to get something that is, like Jake said, bespoke and really thoughtful with the collaboration. Because like there's so many streamers out there that are like, oh yeah, I'm getting this person on to do this collab, and you see it and it's like, okay, they're playing a game together, but it'd be really great to actually like do something that's thoughtful with that streamer as opposed to just doing the same old thing that's a collab that is just like, oh yeah, we'll bring you onto our show and you got to kind of figure it out. Because I feel like we're in a spot that allows for that more to be more personalized to everything now, and have them kind of brought into the world, but doing so where they can contribute like the chat contributes to a show. Open a suggestion window to subs for incoming talent. Hard times where the big in jokes get suggested. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm not sure what you mean by that, just a tiny taste.
Sunbro says that they discovered us through the Just a Minx talent show thing that we did, which is awesome. That was such a great, like, serendipitous opportunity. We were so pissed when we didn't get to do our second act. For those of you who didn't see that or know what we're talking about, we did the Austin talent show, which is just like a talent show on Twitch hosted by like this Austin show guy who's, I guess, like really big on Twitch. And they asked us to come do our show as an act, which I mean, they must not really like know what we do because our show is an hour long and all improv. But we were like, we'll do it. Like, it's good exposure. And we wrote basically like a sketch version of our show, like this magic trick act, this like magician sketch. And I don't see why he had so many. Yeah, I also don't see why he has so many followers. He must be doing something right. But anyway, we did this sketch, and the idea was like, they told us to have 2 acts ready in case, because there was going to be 2 rounds if we got voted into the second round. So we spent like a whole day and a half, like just meticulously writing this sketch and then producing all of the like animations and effects for it, and then rehearsing it over and over again. And then we finally did it. We did the first half of the act and just immediately got voted off the show. We were like the only performance that got rejections from every single judge. And so we had this whole second act prepared, like written, produced, ready to go, that we just did not get to show on the Austin show. And luckily, Just a Minx, who's a streamer, who's very popular and was watching the Austin show, had her, like some of her followers actually, like people who were watching her show. She was like reacting, I guess, to the show. Yeah. Some of her followers came into our chat and were like, or messaged us on Twitter, I think actually, and were like, Minx loves your show, like she wants to see the second act, like you should come on right now. And like a half hour later, she hosted our stream and we were able to do it on there, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was really great. She was so great, and like that's kind of where the part of the idea for having a streamer come on in this format that is reacting to the show as it happens, but in a natural way, came from watching clips of Just a Minx reacting to the second part of our show, where I was like, wow, this is almost like, well, this is way more enjoyable seeing a person react to it in real time than it is to just watch the actual show. And seeing like Just a Minx react when Chris gets split in half and all these things, that like I'd love to see more of that in the Everything Now show, where we have a guest on or someone that can react when we do these crazy things, that you can see that is that kind of bystander that provides the almost straight man, because we have the host that is a straight man, but it'd be nice to have like a straight man that is constantly just like between the chat and the straight man, and that is really, they have no really direct connection to what is weird or absurd, because then the streamer can still make comments that we can react off in the game, but also you get that thing that feels more of a connection to the chat that I don't think we get with a lot of our streams. That's the most viewers I've seen you with. Yeah, the other big viewership thing we got was when we got randomly rated by Pay Money Wubby twice. The first time was like 800 viewers, and the second time was like 6,000 viewers or 5,000 viewers or something, which was absurd. And I guess it was just like...
Yeah, that was during a Barley's Bar episode the second time.
Yeah. And they kept being like, show us your microwave. And we knew from the first time... The only reason we had the idea to bring out the microwave, which got us probably 500 to 600 followers in one night, was because the first time they did show us your microwave, and that was when the chat took up our entire screen because we didn't know how to crop it or anything. And so it's just a wall of chat saying, show us your microwave. We didn't know what that meant. So the second time they came around, we showed the microwave, and then they went wild and followed us, and who knows what they who still stayed around since then. But
yeah, is there anybody in here who came from that raid? I doubt it.
Maybe you guys should do a specific thing when you get followers. Yeah, I mean, we used to do the teddy tattoos when we got subscribers, but it just it started interrupting the bits, not the bits as in Twitch bits, but like the just the things we were doing. It would just become too distracting to stop the show and do it. But now we get a lot less subscribers, so maybe, I don't know, it was like a problem that only happened when we did it, so maybe that's a sign that we still should do something that's...
Well, we've talked about, and we haven't unveiled it yet, and I don't know when we are going to unveil it, but we do have a new overlay for the show that also made, and I don't want to tease it too much, but it does include a sub and follower counter, and like a last sub, sort of like the more traditional things that you will see on like a regular gamer stream that shows like who the last follower was, and like a daily sub goal and follower goal counter, which I think are good sort of like passive ways to encourage people and remind people to support the show in those ways, like to see that counter go up, or to like see your name on the screen as the most recent follower. I think is a way to kind of get that idea across without having to like break character or stop the show to acknowledge those things, which I think was the struggle that we were having before with like trying to like thank every single person and like do a full bit for followers or for subs.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'll see if I can pull up a teaser of that real quick. But yeah, it's always a struggle. Also, Jake's had the idea in the past of like if we hit like, say we have 100 sub month goal, and if we hit like a big month goal, we can do something crazy. Like we used to do donation goals for, we'd open a piñata for like a certain show format, so like doing something that's kind of like a bigger exciting thing that can happen would be fun too. The like kind of rewards for people who continuously tune in to see if we do hit that goal, but also just to like hit that goal in general would be cool to see.
Sadville is asking, what do you think of the Twitch polling? You tried and dropped after like an episode. I don't know what that is. Twitch polling?
Twitch polling is like it's like the version of the polls we do on screen, but it's within chat. So it's not like you could just like do it within chat and it can pop up. It's basically like an integrated poll that Twitch does itself as opposed to like a third party thing. And we tried it. I mean, we could still try it. I think it's just kind of like a creature of habit thing where we didn't come back to it. But there's just not a lot of like features that it has, I feel like, that like you can vote multiple times, but I feel like you have to you can pay bits for it, which I feel like we can integrate. I just think it's like weird to have people pay bits to vote in polls more, but maybe that's something you guys want, and if it is, then cool, but I don't know.
Sunbro is asking, ever thought about doing more with channel points? And channel points is something that we have not really explored at all. And I don't really know why. I mean, it's definitely an interesting concept. I think it does. I mean, I guess the idea is that, I guess the idea is that it rewards you for being a regular viewer. Like, it rewards people for coming back and staying in the stream for a long time. I guess like I would have to experiment with it a little bit more. I have like 30,000 channel points. I have way too many channel points. Well, yeah, now I feel like it would be dangerous to implement channel point things because there's so many of you now who have just been accruing thousands of channel points with nothing to spend them on, that if at any point we did start to implement like a use for them, there would just be like this insane wealth gap between everybody who's been watching the show and anybody who just enters. But it is an interesting concept. I would just want to like come up with a creative way, something other than just like highlighting chat messages or something.
Yeah. And also like Motion Design does great things with channel points where he can link them to visual cues that happen, which I'd be interested in talking with him about, which I still haven't gotten around to, but that's something that's just like doing stuff that directly integrates into the show. It just gets difficult with each format, making that super bespoke to that format that we've kind of like fallen into a trap of, where I think with this arcade overlay 2 is just trying to figure out like, okay, it's just these three things, like simplifying it, like it's just, okay, these are the three options you get. So it's like if you donate these 3 amounts, each consecutive amount like triggers like a bigger thing. I'll show you guys in a second what I mean. I'm building it right now, but also just like I feel like we just get ahead of ourselves with like how many things we want to build into a specific format, that it's just like we can't do this with every format. But yeah, it's tough. There's not really like a set in stone thing because we don't know where the show is going to be at any given point, but we definitely like appreciate any feedback you give us because it just gives us a better idea, so we're not just like crap shooting with whatever the 5 of us are thinking of.
I'll have to check out the 2 puppets channel point thing. I have not looked at their stuff recently. But Legacy Squid is saying they've got some good ones. Yeah, Squid, what are some of their things? There's one Apex Legends streamer that I follow that has has channel point rewards. One is like he'll play Apex with you if you get enough channel points. Like he'll play like a public match with you, which I don't know what the Everything Now equivalent of that is.
We'll
like
just give you a
show in some capacity.
We'll just give you a personal call.
That would be kind of interesting to just like at any time during the show, you can, if you have like 10,000 points, you can just call into the show and just like give your live review.
That's true. Yeah, that'd be cool.
They have a dice roll one and each side has a different outcome. What are some examples of the outcomes?
I'm gonna do a arcade reveal overlay real quick. So this is what I've been working on for what the overlay would look like. Oh, it's very loud. Hold on. So basically, Can you? Yeah, you can still hear me. So you'd have your sub goal, last follower, all this stuff on here, and then at any point, like most of the show would just consist of, you know, just the main screen that you normally see. So at any point you can like zoom in. Just be like, oh yeah, this is the show. Forget about what you're seeing. But you could zoom out. You'd have the chat right here on the, right side for me. But you'd have the chat, and then on the left you'd have like the 3 rules. So it's like, oh, donate $4.20, and you can eject someone from the lift seat. But it kind of just gives like more of that, I don't know, checking in feel. And also this would be like an overlay that we'd use for the gaming format idea too. But yeah. Costume change is another one they have. That's fun. They have eat chili on stream. Do they always have chili ready?
Eat a chili, so probably like a hot pepper.
Like say on the cusp of a subscriber goal, the bit is that you're trying to deliver the piñata, not break it. The scenes would be poor piñata courier. Yeah, destruction. That's the thing though too, is like we love the pre-planned bits, but it's just like we can't keep up with the demand of that. You know, it's like those can be. I guess that's a good idea for a month sub goal then, because then you can actually plan that out. But I see what you're saying. It could like trigger kind of like a cutscene of a video game where it's like you get like that kind of sketch. You unlock a sketch basically that maybe leads into a live bit, which is a cool idea. Fake follower rewards.
Would people get like upset by that? We had a stretch where we were like, we wanted to do donation goals for like crazy things. Like we were gonna buy like a used car. We had like a donation goal where it was like, help us buy this car. And our donation goal for the episode was like $12,000, and we would just reset it every episode.
We'll only buy the car if we get to it at that specific episode. But yeah.
People recently brought an improv lesson from Chris. That's true. They did do that. But that also was a charity stream, which I think people tend to be a little bit more generous with their donations when they know that we are like in situations like this where we're donating everything to Armenia. But that's not, it's definitely possible. Like you guys have been extremely generous regardless of whether or not we are doing a charity stream or not. And I definitely do think like I want to reward the chat or the viewers when they donate. Like I think as fun as it is to do like these fake like bit joke things, like it is nice to like actually give a reward for the support, because it's like, other than making the show itself, like we don't really ever get to give back to you guys for the support. So it's nice to have, you know, a tangible, or not tangible necessarily, but like an explicit reward for giving the little extra bit besides your attention to us for watching the show.
Charity stream aside, joined us. Sydney posted that she was raising money for Australia wildfires, which sounded great. That's why Sadville negs Sydney so much, because he has a huge crush on her.
Yeah, the charity streams have been good. I think I go back and forth on like whether or not our social media is like worth the effort, because sometimes I feel like we're just kind of like screaming into the void with like our tweets from the show Twitter or like our personal tweets.
I I feel
but
like
then
that's
also
how we got,
it does feel like you need a presence.
That's also something huge you brought, Jake, is like the idea of posting to live stream fail and stuff, where I feel like we would have never broken past a certain point if we didn't do that, which maybe is like something else to revisit too, is like, you know, you get a lot of shitty people that just unfollow, but also you can't really get anywhere without those like big leaps of like awareness of the show, just like clips that like, even though X amount of people hate it, there are amount of people that just like are into it and will just keep going. Like I know Daddy Kev, who of course is a bad example because doesn't really tune in as much, but like is a huge supporter, or was a huge supporter. Just like people like that who come in, and even if they only watch it for a limited amount of time, it's just like the amount of times that you try to do that, you can get more exposure that way. But it is hard not feeling weird and slimy for doing like self-promo on things that like people call you out on for doing self-promo, and we are obviously like disguising ourselves as different Reddit accounts, which makes us feel even more slimy so we don't get caught. But it's just like,
yeah, I've been banned from live stream fail like on 4 or 5 different alt accounts at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is an interesting tool. I think like another thing that has been suggested is going into other people's discords, which is another thing that it's like feels slightly slimy. Like if you're not a genuine like follower or like watcher of that stream, to just like, we have people like that in our Discord who will just like
Trekkie bro
come in. Yeah, Trekkie bro.
Yeah.
I unfortunately have never seen his stuff, but he's damn consistent.
I checked him out the other day for the first time, which I guess is a testament to like it working, because I'm just like, who the fuck is this guy who keeps posting and never says anything else in our Discord? But it worked. I clicked on his stuff and hated it, but at least it got me to his channel. But yeah, that is something that's just like, sometimes you just gotta be a shameless butt licker, and just really get in there, which, I mean, we say it's slimy, but really we're not above any of those people, and we're not above, you know, it's like we're not better than any of these people, so we might as well try it to get to that point. But it's just, it adds on top of everything. I think the big thing, Jake, for doing this is actually stopping the things that don't work. Because I feel like right now we feel like we have to do everything, where we're not really weeding out the things that aren't working and stopping those things. Like if tweets aren't effective, like stopping the tweets unless like absolutely necessary, and then trying something else. But right now I feel like we have to do everything, and we keep trying to do everything, and we're not really trying to learn what is effective, that like we don't know what to focus our energy on. So it's like we're kind of just half-assing it across the board with just like everything. That's like, oh, if posting in other people's Discords is more effective, then we stop trying to focus on like doing topical tweets, and then we go and like we actually just focus our energy in posting in other people's Discords. But I feel like right now we just don't either have like a good way of measuring what's effective, or just aren't putting in the effort that way. But yeah,
I think with the tweets, I don't know. I mean, I am not the one who tweets the most of the time, so it's hard for me to say how much work. I think like you and Rocky are actually two of the better people about doing that. I don't know. It would be interesting to get responses from the chat and stuff in terms of like how effective that is for notifying people about like when we go live. And from what I've gathered, it seems like the Discord notification of us going live seems to be more effective. And like obviously our like regular viewers just know when the show is going to be on because it's at the same time every week. So like I think a lot of people just don't even need that reminder. They just know that at 7 o'clock or whatever time it is in their time zone to just like show up. But I don't know. It seems I feel like the non-update show or the like we're live type tweets, like we've gotten some good, like pretty successful posts. But again, it's like if a tweet gets 80 likes on Twitter, Like, does that translate into any new viewers? Hard to say. It doesn't really seem like it.
I feel like, never. Except for, Sadville is saying from, coming in from Sydney's tweet, but that's like a very specific situation where, Sydney has a lot of pull on Twitter from her account. So that's like, theoretically, if we got big on Twitter and we got like a big pull from that, maybe that could be it, but we're not putting in all the effort on Twitter, so we're not going to get to the point, it's like we're not going to build up our Twitter faster than we're building up our Twitch. So right now it's kind of just like slowly building up both, as opposed to like trying to figure out what's the best way to build up the Twitch faster, which I feel like is what you're leading to with this. But like, posting Discord, trying to get people into the Discord seems like it's a good way to just kind of like a way of just like connecting with people more than being on Twitter and having to do that.
The Discord is definitely like, I think, the best way to retain viewers, because that is a way that we can be present and like interactive without being streaming. Like, I think the sense of community that you get from being active in the Discord, of like seeing us posting like photos and like posting your own photos, and like how we can kind of just have like an out of character sort of like this show. But that was what I said originally when you like kind of pitched this idea. It's like this is like almost like a live version of the Discord, where it's like out of character and like sort of a more casual way to interact with the viewers. And I think that the Discord is a great way to get people to keep coming back. But it's not like a discoverability tool. It's like a retention tool. And Sadville was suggesting streaming reruns, and that's something that we have considered in the past. I think my hesitation with that is that, like, I've seen other channels do that, where they will stream reruns, and I think maybe for like gaming stuff it works okay, but I think so much of our show is the interactive component. Like the draw of it is that it is live and interactive, and like you can type in the chat and like see us respond in real time. And I feel like a lot of that magic of like what makes the show, I don't know, because I'm not an audience member, so like I don't have necessarily that perspective, but I feel like if I were just like somebody watching it, like I would not enjoy it as much. And I think if that was somebody's first exposure to the show, like that's what I'm worried about, is like somebody wanders in, which I guess like if we're missing those people anyway if we're not live. But like if somebody came in and their only exposure to the show is like this rerun version of it, and then I think they would sort of like write it off. I don't know. That's kind of...
Just a Tiny Taste brought this up too after the last episode of this that I did, and it kind of came to a thing where it's like at this point, if it wouldn't hurt to like run it, because they suggested like having like a rerun at like 12 p.m. on a day, so it's like people that might never see the show just because of the time that it's at, and having like a rerun and be like, and having, I feel like the more personalized thing is like having hand-picked reruns where it's like Jake's pick, and then like this is the rerun that Jake wanted you to see. And even if we're not not in this way reviewing the clip, but like maybe we can hop into the chat for a little bit and like just like do some chatting stuff like from our personal account or something. There's not really a whole lot to lose at this point, I feel like, for doing a rerun. And I also feel like doing like classic episodes, like we're almost at 3 hours, and like we only got through 2 episodes, and we didn't even go through the whole, like we have so many episodes that it's like I feel like it would be it's at least a good sign for this format that like it will take so long to get through all these episodes. But just like for reruns too, it'd be so cool to see, like, oh, Rocky's pick like on this Thursday, hey guys, like in the Discord, hey guys, and giving a proper heads up, because like when Just Tiny Taste brought this up, Wavy Lines came in and was like, personally I wouldn't like to see a go live notification and then go and see that it's a rerun, because I wouldn't like to see that happen. But also it's just like, if we give a proper heads up of being like, hey, this is a rerun, it's at noon, obviously it's like not going to be the regular show, but being like, hey, Rocky comes in, hey, I picked this episode for this reason, if you guys want to go check it out you can, if not just ignore it and then go go about your business. But at least like have properly labeled rerun, and then like advertisements of when the show actually is and stuff. Might be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. That's what Sadville was saying too, and I agree. Like, I think if it is clear to the viewer that it's just like this is a rerun, and like, you know, check out our VODs for other examples of the show. But like, if this looks interesting to you as a rerun, come check us out live at XYZ time. I totally agree. I think it's like pretty low stakes and like easy to do from a production standpoint. Like, it's literally just downloading the VOD and then queuing it up and playing it. And I also do really like your idea of having members of the cast, whoever's available at whatever that time is, being in the chat and sort of doing like what we did tonight, sort of like giving BTS commentary on like certain things that happened during the episode, answering questions, like commenting. I think that would make it more enjoyable for like people who are fans. You know, like it has the benefit of being exposure for people who haven't seen the show, and then I think it could be potentially interesting for people who have seen the show if we have that angle of like a behind the scenes, you know, aspect of it in the form of commentary from some of us.
Yeah, because even I could do that, like as I'm working, I could just have that open on a tab that I'm like bouncing back to and just being like, oh yeah, I love this part, and like listening, you know, on my headphones or whatever. But yeah, I definitely want to try that out and see, because it is the fact of like we are competing with people who are going live every day, and we can't do that, but in some way, shape, or form, we can at least try to see what it would look like to have the most, you know, maximize the amount of content that we have on the channel, just to see what it would bring and like what, you know, what or if would happen if new viewers see that and they come in and try to see the original show or whatnot.
Not to make it confusing, but I feel like that stream should be called Everything Then, not this. I think this show should be something else. If we are doing reruns, those should be Everything Then.
Yeah, we should allocate all of Sadville's royalties and credits to the past show that only 5 viewers watched, instead of this nice, sparkling new golden show that is going to be bringing in so much cash. We don't want his name attached to this, so I agree. He says I consent to this. Perfect.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, it's midnight.
Yeah, I think this rerun thing is an actionable next step, something that I feel like we could definitely try in the short term, experimenting with. So we did get that little nugget, and it was really fun revisiting those old episodes.
Yeah.
So I think it will hopefully be really fun for other people too as we experiment with this rerun thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are there any last minute like questions, comments, or things you want to cover? Also for chat.
Yeah, there's nothing much for me right now, but Chad, if you have anything else, what parts be muted in the rerun though? How so? Usually, for the most part, we use all of our own assets, so they should be all original audio that we can play through without having it. That's the other thing too that I feel like most streams don't get to utilize is like, I mean, maybe more so now with the DMCA stuff, but most of our VODs are all just like our own stuff that we can play through. There's not a lot of rewatchability for other streams. But yeah.
And Justin Tiny Taste said we never asked how we met ENS. And please, if you'd like to share, go for it now. We are always curious, and also if you'd like to post in the Discord if you're tired or whatever, but you can do it here. Might actually even be better to do it in the Discord because these chats don't get saved. So we would be able to go and reference it, and also other cast members would be able to take a look at it if you post it in the Discord. But you're welcome to also do it here. Tiny Taste says, I encountered ENS on a raid by Harry Horror Show.
Oh, nice.
It was Rocky driving a truck. Oh, nice. Welcome.
That was a
We
good.
love Harry. we haven't collabed with him in a minute, but he makes really great stuff. I really like his. I feel like we are kindred spirits, sort of like paving our own sort of unique pathways in the Twitch content world, and it's been really cool to see his channel grow very quickly.
Yeah, I saw him like the other night with like 120 something viewers, and I was like, hell yeah, dude! It's like you. I mean, what you said about kindred spirits, but like when you're doing the streaming grind, it's like you can only give so much to your fellow streamers, where it's like you support them but from afar, unless you're like directly collaborating with them. But yeah, there are times where I'm able to go and check out his stream and also other people's streams where I can pop by and say hi and connect with them still. I bought a commercial for 100 bits. Wow, those must have been on sale, huh?
Yeah, that's cheap for a commercial. I like the Betsy Bet says, I like the idea of dedicated rerun. You're right that the YouTube channel is quite an overload of content. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's amazing that we have this library of stuff. Like, it is such a blessing to like have everything in one place. But it is also, just because there's so much stuff, it can be sort of daunting to try to go in and find something that you're looking for, or like if you're just stumbling on it as somebody who doesn't know everything now show, there's like not really any easy way to find something that you know you're going to like, because they are all so different. So I do like the idea of what you were saying also about having the reruns be like curated by us, so that we're picking our favorite stuff. And then it can be a little bit more personal, and also like, not that we ever have made a bad episode, but we would be picking the cream of the crop, so to speak.
Yeah. Also, like, looking at this, we're at episode 177 of our regular, like, what? We're almost at 200 episodes of the show?
Yeah, that's insane. I wonder what that is in hours. It's a lot. Especially when you take into consideration Chris did a 48-hour stream and we did a 12-hour marathon stream.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I think there's actually, let me see if I can look up our achievements here. Stream for 1,000. So we're at 646 hours streamed on Twitch.
It's a lot of hours. It feels low somehow, though.
Yeah, I mean, how many days is that? How many days is that, chat? 646 divided by 24. It's like, that's like near 27 days. Near 27 days of straight stream, of straight content. Yeah, that's pretty, I feel like it's pretty accurate.
Sadville, Rocky has talked about wanting to do movie watch-alongs, I know, for a while now. We haven't quite gotten around to organizing something like that, but I know it has been discussed before. But it could be something interesting to do, like some sort of like Mystery Science Theater type thing where we all sync up like an old copyright-free movie. But it is, like you said, like it is a slightly different audience. Like it is sort of like a different, like C Squid says, movie watch parties I hate so much. Yeah, I also don't really love that format, but I can understand the appeal. But I personally, I don't really enjoy them either.
It's also such a window of just like, unless you know the movie so much, like if I miss the first 10 minutes of a movie, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch whatever you're doing a watch through of. It's just like, if I haven't seen it and it's 10 minutes in, I'm going to go watch something else. But I could see the appeal if it's like a classic or something that some people want to watch. But with the Amazon stuff too, it's just like I can see where it could be good, but like if you have to log in and like do all that stuff, it's just like there's already so many options that it's like if there's an extra step, you're not gonna wanna do it. also be good if there's a complication of the stories that interconnect, though that is a lot of work. Yeah, I mean, I love that. I really would love to like keep doing stuff that's like, having two characters on that in the end, like there's a big arc and they connect, but it's just like with Twitch, somebody pops in and they're like, "What is this?" And yeah, it's tough because like we want to reward the people that are big fans and that watch the whole stream and stuff. But we also don't want to make it unwatchable for people that come in late or who are big fans and just couldn't come in. It's the same thing with the movie aspect where, you don't want to come in and just like have to be playing catch up the whole time. But, it's tough. Anyway.
I'm watching a clip right now of a guy who was doing donuts because the Dodgers won. And he ran over a firework and it set his car on fire.
Oh my god!
It's pretty awesome.
We were sitting here, and people started screaming, and JC was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "I guarantee the Dodgers just won the World Series." Then I looked; it was just like 15 seconds ago. Dodgers won the World Series. There's just people screaming outside.
Yeah, Chris's girlfriend's dog was freaking the hell out.
Thank God Kobe died so that the LA could win both the NBA championship and the World Series in the same year. Now we just need the Rams to win the Super Bowl, and Kobe would have died for the right reasons.
Amen.
Cool, guys. I think that's it for us.
Well, on that note.
Yeah. You can clip that and take that home with you and show it to your mom. But yeah, it was great. It was great talking, Jake. It was great talking with you too, Chad.
Yeah, this was really good. I'm excited to tune in. I guess I may be hosting next week, but also if I'm not, I'm excited to see you and Rocky chat it up. And if not, then I'm excited to chat up with Rocky.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great format that will not have this name again. So
every
chat,
episode will have a different name.
Yeah, chat, think of a new name so we can name the reruns everything then. But think of a new name, join our Discord if you're not already in it. And thanks for tuning in. I'll check and see who's available to raid. I am so tired.
Me too. All right, I'm leaving now. Goodbye. Great seeing you, Dad. Bye. Good night also. See ya.
Goodbye. Now it's just me and you, chat. And we're going to raid someone. Let's see who's on. Why is LA being such super spreaders? Is that what's the new dig? I haven't really looked it up recently on the status of LA new cases. Ooh, we got Cardboard Cowboy. We got the Uncle Joe Show. We got... I'll do Major Grunge. Fellow nephew networker. Oh, someone on the team had COVID and he just kind of went back out to hang out with everyone. Oh, that's dope. I wish I was Minx and could just sleep for my stream. Should I do that? Should I just go to bed on the couch? You guys could watch me do that instead of raiding. Sleep like a sarcophagus. You like this? Where's the blanket? There usually is a blanket out here. I don't know where it went. It's crazy that this is what most streamers do. They don't even they're just like, they don't even talk. They're just like hanging out. What the hell is that thing on the floor? Oh, this? Guess. Guess what that is. Tape measure. I mean, I was gonna play some Rocket League, not on stream. I guess I could keep streaming. Now I'm worried. Somebody already left at just the mention of Rocket League. Let me see if I can set it up and if my computer will even take it. Oh my god. Hell yes. I was just about to end the stream, but now we'll play some Rocket League. Why sleep on couch? Legacy Squid, did you do this? Here we go, fam. Here we go. Here we go. You guys ready? You guys ready to turn up right now? Who's ready to turn up?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Y'all thought the couch was crazy? Watch this. You guys ready for this?
Wow. Santa came early this year.
Hell yeah, thanks for the gift. You guys ready for this? You thought the couch was crazy? Watch this. Oh shit. Y'all thought y'all thought the floor was crazy? Y'all thought the floor was crazy? What's it? Who even rated me? Who is this? Let me give them the proper thanks for rating at the perfect time. Selma Cash Money. Yo, tell me about Selma. Dr. Dogcat? It wasn't you, man. It was Selma. Oh, it was Dr. Dog? Thanks, Dr. Dog. It says it was Selma, but I told him you wanted to end. Oh, yeah. Alright. You ready for this? You thought the floor was crazy? You ready? You ready, fam? You guys ever seen a counter sleep stream? Counter strike, more like counter sleep, am I right? What else could he do? What else could he do, huh? Dr. Dogcat, is he just scoping out people it's gonna end? That was so crazy. You guys ready for this? I don't even know if I can do this. I don't know how strong my abs are. No wires, no wires. There are no wires here. There are no wires. You guys ever seen a sleep stream on a stool? Just one stool? I don't think so.
Thank you very much.
I don't think so. That's right. I earned that follow. Night breeds. That really hurt. Let's see if we can do it. You guys remember planking? You guys remember when planking was a thing? Let's see if I can plank. It wasn't like this. Because planking you do on the stomach, right?
Thank you very much.
That's some shit right there. Can you do a sit up on the stool? I don't know. I was having so hard balancing just to put my arms up like that. Well, let me see. Oh God, this is so hard. Hold on, here we go. I don't know if that counts. That was tough. Can I sit on the stool? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a miracle worker. Do I look like Jesus? Could you imagine? Could you imagine if I just sat on it? Could you imagine if I just sat on that thing? Fuck. How do you even approach that? How do you even approach... How do you even approach sitting on that? How do you even... Yeah, Moore's right. It doesn't look like something you even sit on. Like, what? How would you... Like, that's something, like, I'd go to and be like, I could sleep on that. But, like, sit on it? You guys crazy? You guys nuts? Are you guys crazy? Sit on this?
Thank you very much.
I don't even know if it's sturdy enough to sit on. I don't even know. Could that even handle my weight if I sat on it? Alright. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go for it. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? I'm gonna try it again. Hold on. I'm gonna try it again. Oh my god. My Pharrell says, what is he doing? This is weird. I know. Could you imagine sitting on that? That shit's weird. Who would sit on a thing like that? Anyway, back to what I was doing, which is what is normal to do on a stool. I'm just going to go back to doing what is normal on a stool. Now that's relaxing. That's relaxing. I hear so much about standing desks. People want to get all ergonomic about standing while working. Why can't we plank? Why can't we plank while working? Reported. Thank you. Thank you for reporting me. Why can't we plank while working? Yo, Elon. Yo Bezos. Yo, Elon. You Zuckerberg. Get us that planking desk, bro. Give me that planking desk. Yo, Mr. Billy Gates. Give me that planking desk, bro. I'm tired of standing. I'm tired of sitting. I need to plank while I work. How many of you have been in the situation where you're like, damn, I've been sitting all day. I've been standing all day at my standing desk. I need a break. I need to take a load off. How many people? Raise your hands. Raise your hands out there. How many people? That's what I thought. Look no further. with my new product, Sharks, Mr. Wonderful, I'm looking at you. Sharks, hear me out. How many of you, after a long day of doing the business, are like, I need to take a load off. I'm tired of standing. I'm tired of sitting. It's time to plank. I just sent 3,000 emails. I just did my entire job for an entire year. My job is done for a year. All because of the planking desk. My job is done. My job is done. You think you're cutting down on office space from COVID? You think you're cutting down on that expense? Imagine if all your employees did their entire job for an entire year in 15 seconds. Sharks, I'm asking for $5 billion for 5% of my company. Pretty good deal, huh? $5 billion for 5%. Not that much, huh? Not that much. Not that much. And I know what you sharks are thinking. Can I sit in it?
Wow. Santa came early this year.
And to you I say what? To you I say what? Sit in this? Sit on this? How would you even go about that? How would you even go about that?
Thank you, we eat the money, yes, yum,
How would you even sit in that? Sit on this? You can't. You can't sit on that. With what? With what, sharks? With what? $5 billion for 5%. Take it or leave it. Sit on that? Like what? How would you even sit? What do you? It's impossible. It's like an opposite ass magnet. You can't sit on that. You can't sit on that. That's right, just scientists. You don't even have the tailbone, sharks. You don't even have the tailbone. I just did my boss's job. I just did a year of my boss's job. My boss is now fired from his job because I did his job. My boss is unemployed because of what I just did to him. He has to go home to his family and tell his family, honey, today I came into work and I sat at my desk. And it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. My subordinate, he came in and he planked. And he did my job for a year in 15 seconds. And now I don't have a job. I don't have a job. Because I did his job. $5 billion for 5% of my company. $5 billion for 5%. It's free money, sharks. It's free money. How many times has someone come up to you and been like, yo, here's free money. And you said no. And you said, oh, what? What did you just say? Free money? No thanks. I didn't think so, sharks. You always took that money. You always took that free money. That's right, Dr. Dogcat. Who in their right mind would say no? Sit on this? Sit on this? How? How? $5 billion for 5% sharks. Mr. Wonderful, I'm looking at you. Mark Cuban, I'm looking at you. How are the Mavericks doing right now? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. You ever notice how the Mavericks, the Dallas Mavericks, owned by Mark Cuban, are always playing basketball standing up? You ever notice that? Have you ever seen an NBA player play basketball in any other position besides standing up? Maybe they're sitting down on the bench. Maybe they're sitting down on the bench to take a break. Imagine if a basketball player, say on your Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban, played like this. Folks, I just did the job of an NBA player for an entire year. I just won the NBA Finals for next year right now, doing that. I am the most valuable player for next season already doing that. What's up, Mr. Cuban? What's up, Mr. Cuban? Are you ready to invest $5 billion for 5% in my company? Well, joke's on you, Mr. Mark, because it's now $5 billion for 0.5%. You should have took the offer. You had it. You had it and you blew it. You had it, free money, and you blew it. Sit on this? Sit on this? I don't think so. $5 billion for 0.5%, Mr. Cuban. Time for when I play the lo-fi hip hop and I dance. This is the part of the Sharks presentation where I play lo-fi hip hop and I dance to it. Mr. Cuban, if you're still watching, it's still the offer's still here.
Thank you, we eat the money, yes, yum yum.
$5 billion for 0.5%, Mr. Cuban. $5 billion for 0.5%. Sharks, I know you get pitched a lot of business deals on this show, but has anyone ever just come on the show and just vibed? Mr. Wonderful, I'm looking at you. $5 billion for 0.5% of my company. What would your son think, Mr. Cuban? Mr. Cuban, what would your son think if you passed up on a deal like this? Mr. Cuban, what would your son think? You could pay for your son to go to college with this deal. You could pay for your son to buy a college with this deal. What would your son think, Mr. Cuban? Dada, why can't I buy college? Dada, why can't I buy college? Sorry, son, my name's Mark Cuban and I passed on a really good deal. I will never forgive you, Dada. $5 billion for 0.5% of my company. I'm looking at you, Mark Cuban. What do you mean wavy lines? I'm on Shark Tank right now. This is live, baby. He's right here. He's literally right here. He's literally right here. $5 billion for 0.5%, Mr. Cuban. You gonna take my deal? You ever seen someone do this on the b-ball court? Didn't think so, Mark. Didn't think so. 5 billion for 0.5%, baby. You want to fight? You're rolling up your sleeves to fight me? Do that too, man. Fight me, Mark. Fight me, dude. I don't want to have to punch you in front of Mr. Wonderful. You gonna make me punch you in front of Mr. Wonderful? Don't make me do it, dude. I'll do do it. I'll do it. You think I won't? I'll do it. I'll freaking do it, dude. You think you're so tough with all your friends, but you're really not. You're really not tough, dude. You're really not tough with you and all your friends. Look, he's so short. Mr. Wonderful isn't even that tall in person. He's so short. He's so short, dude. Look how short he is. He's so short in real life. Everyone thinks Mr. Wonderful is the tallest man on earth, but really he's so tiny and small. It's crazy how tiny and small he is. It's so crazy how tiny and small Mr. Wonderful is. $5 billion for 0.5% of my company. Yeah, that is Kevin O'Leary. His name is Mr. Wonderful. So, call him by his name. $5 billion for 0.5% of my company. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it.